Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, got my hand. Call
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And thank you so much for tuning in to DLD After Dark. We have a kind of exciting show tonight. Um, we're going to be talking about hot takes that likely everyone is going to dislike. It's probably going to get most people riled up, but it'll be like the things that like this group will disagree with this stuff or this group will disagree with this stuff and those Hellcat owners out there. No, I'm kidding. Some people are going to agree with what we're saying and some people are going to detest with every bone in their body some things that we're saying. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. So thank you so much for tuning in to DLD After Dark. I'm your boy Dark with DLD After Dark. Do a live show every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday around 10. Look, I've kind of had to start pushing into 10:30 just because of other stuff that I've been having going on. But you can blame Flying Rich for coming out here for a couple days and then leave and then coming back for a day and all. Threw me off, man. Threw me off. But we have a really good show tonight. I'm pumped for it. But so yeah, blame Rich. Anyway, this is your first time watching DLD After Dark. I don't believe you because we know this particular content platform doesn't like to recommend my content to anyone new. So if you are new, fire off in the comments, say you're new. We'll welcome you, if you're going to claim to be new. But if you are new, welcome. I'm hoping that you'll get enough value out of the show this evening that, if not just for the entertainment, for the value that you'll receive, I'm hoping that you would at least choose to subscribe or like, follow, share, hit the thumbs down button, whatever. All right. Anyway, engagement is engagement. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so if you're watching this, folks, the next day or the next day or the next day, I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen some of the replay mafia. I'm like, where's Razor JB? Where's Spin 360? I have no idea what's going on. But also, to be fair, something has been kind of messed up with my YouTube, and it's just been showing a blank screen on the DLD After Dark channel, so it's kind of weird. But on my regular, like, backup, the Dark Mavis channel, everything is fine. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're, not taking kindly to my channel still being here, which I don't know. I mean, they could just, shut me down if they choose to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Either way, I appreciate that you're here. If you are watching this the next day or the next day or the next day, do me a favor, shout out in the comments, replay mafia, recapitulation syndication, reheating the leftovers, blah blah blah, rewatching the reruns, all the creative stuff that y'all do. I don't know, y'all are more creative than I am, so lay it down. Honestly, the comments are great, and the comments are great to read the next day and the next day. So yeah, do that. And for in most cases, I do drop the little heart and the like on people that drop a comment. So there's some that I miss, you know what I'm saying? And I usually don't go back further than a week. So yeah, might be. Anyway, we're going to do a quick intro. We're going to greet everyone. For those new people that I mentioned, if this is your first time here, what you don't know is that I'm about to take about 10 minutes to greet every single channel member, because almost 90% of the support that comes from YouTube comes from channel membership. So I just want to give a huge thank you, shout out to all those that are supporting the channel through, I guess, via channel membership, and I want to show some love. So first in chat, your boy Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's do, what do you want? You want a fist bump or a high five? You're more of a fist bump guy, right? Yeah, let's do a fist bump. Appreciate you, brother. And Kurt 24, who is also the producer of the show, uh, he's also a moderator. So watch what you say around him, all right? Because if you mess around and pull some Fat Scout survival stuff, you're gonna get kicked out of here. All right. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. We actually really don't kick anybody out, like literally ever, like even when people come in talking smack. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get through to it. So Kurt, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you so much. Gutted cheese, brother, great to see you. Have you printed a gun today? That's an excellent question. And you know what, I don't know where I'm at time wise on the P1P, but I'll tell you what, there's that new printer. I forgot the name already, but it's like, I don't know, $4.99 for a bamboo-esque printer and the AMS. When I was about to be like, man, I need to get like $350 for the AMS. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I already got the Ruger RXM. So all those that supported, I appreciate y'all so much. I'll pull up a picture and show y'all. I already did a little something to it too. So and while I was out yesterday, I picked up a little Flat Dark Earth grip module, because guess what? The Flat Dark Earth grip module looks like I could possibly dye it a beautiful color. And I know Red Dawn cannot wait for me to dye it like a dark crimson red, purple, neon green, something like that. Yellow. Ooh, mustard yellow. Ooh, grape poupon mustard. Yeah, yeah. All right. Maybe M81 woodland. We'll see. We'll see. Yo, check this out. Kurt 24, member for 36 months. My guy, thank you so much for the support, brother. For real. It means a lot, man. 21 years in dog years. Man, that's crazy. I absolutely never would have thought like this. So that's why, that's why we're better together. You know what I'm saying? There's a saying on that. I actually wrote a saying down about the wolf pack, the pack, whatever. Anyway, we'll get to it. But I appreciate you, Kurt. Big dog. Eric Stockbridge, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Get a cheese. Mike McClune, the goon, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member, also a moderator. So put some spec on his name, I believe is what the kids say. Let's see, Kurt 24, Mike McClune, the goon, Gotta cheese. Drewski, lifetime channel member. And my guy, yo, Drew, man, Drew has been so crazy supportive. Yo, he had a big chunk of the Ruger RXM contribution, so thank you for that. But he also sent me a laser aiming module, which I'm going to be doing some testing on with some night vision. There's also a Viz laser, Viz light, and also an IR laser and an IR light illuminator that we're going to be doing some testing on. Once my arm gets better, it is actually finally improving. So I'm working on things, man. But I appreciate y'all so much, man. For real, you guys are incredible. Kurt 24, Mike McLuhan Lagoon, Eric Stockbridge, Drewski, Wadadewski, Baloo, Curtain Burner, brother. Great to see you as well. Also a channel member. Drewski, Zanti Misfit, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, big dog. Mike McLuhan Lagoon, Zanti Misfit. Let's see. Hey, the Practical Rifleman. Welcome. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Zanti Misfit, Drewski, Lifetime Chenamemba, who also did a class. What kind of training are y'all doing, or what kind of training are y'all looking for? It's honestly really dope when viewers hit me up and they're like, "Yo, I'm going to do this training, putting some work in, running my guns." Tell you what, you also figure out what doesn't work very quickly when you're doing some real life training. So, like when your acro shakes loose on the slide, um yeah, Red Dawn mentioned that to me. We were talking about optics and stuff. All right, Zanti Misfit, Kurt 24, Joe Vacu, brother, great to see you, man. Also a moderator. So I believe some respect is also due for his name as well. Blue Curtain Burner, Drewski, Kurt 24, Joe Vacuski, Red Dawn Readiness, also a moderator. He's one of the squad, so show some spec as well. The Practical Jerkies. What's up, brother? I've come to terms with that. More people see sharks firsthand than actually know someone that had an AD with a 320. Yeah, I believe that because there's billions of sharks and only like hundreds of thousands of 320s, But also, there's more evidence of 320s blowing people's legs off than there evidence of sharks biting people's legs. But I mean, they'd be out there like that. And look, although talking about, and I'm just busting your chops, um so I believe it's Dust behind the keyboard there, but we love you, Dust, and we love the turkeys. And honestly, but before I go any further, I do want to recommend to you all, if you don't already, do me a favor, subscribe to the Tactical Turkeys, man. Huge dude, awesome channel, huge channel, great friends of the channel, and a personal friend of mine, Dust, Do Knowledge. What's the other guy? The boat guy. He's cool too. But yeah, all those guys, Tech Life J, Granddaddy Perp, all those guys, we love them. But no, I'm busting chops on the Sig 320, man. But I would say that I would not carry one. And being that this is a hot takes show tonight, you may be hearing about SIG 320s. So let's see what happens. Jova Q, Kurt 24, brother, great to see you. Zanti Misfit, Mark Legon, great to see you, brother. Appreciate you. Also a Chena member. Appreciate you, brother. Jova Q, Drewski, Jova Q, Kurt 24ski. Where is RDR? He was up in there. He's around here somewhere. I bet if you say his name 3 times, you might be able to see him. He's hiding, Drew. He hid from me. Oh, we're gonna see. I guess. Let's see. Tactical turkeys. I'm currently getting yelled at. We all get, man. Yeah. Luckily, it's been a minute since I've had to get yelled at. I wish I could do the Jada Kiss laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, Stifler Manufacturing, brother. Great to see you, man. Also with Channel Member, and also check them out because on their website and on the items that they sell on their website, and they even have an eBay store. You can cop some nice stuff like some Gliznock slides for a very, very fair price with a lot of like super dope machining done to it. And yeah, check their stuff out, man. And I believe that if you use code DARK, you could save some monies as well. I do not receive any monies. I don't receive anythings. I'm just saying I don't get anything. So this is just for the viewers. This is not for me. I get nothing. I'm not saying I don't expect anything. I'm just saying it's for y'all, man. It's for y'all. All right. Anyway, what if I did get something from you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Kurt 24, a day, brother. Great to see you. Also, a channel member. Drewski, let's see. Eagle Run 23. Brother, great to see you. Another great person that has a great channel. Check him out here for the hot takes. We'll just wait. Warm up your syrup, get your butter, because we got some hot cakes for them hot takes, but just wait. Santi Misfit, let's see, Kurt 24, Stifler Manufacturing, Eagle Run 23. Let's see who else we got. Normally, I'd plug DLD After Dark and say get a discount with code DARK, but nah, screw that. If you like green and St. Patrick's Day, get 15% off. Facts, good point. Select slides with Stifler with code SAINT25. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, dude. Doing stuff like that, like special, you know what I'm saying? Special like holiday type stuff, man. The people love it, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Drewski, Mike McClunski, Senor Bub. Great to see you, brother. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Senor Bub, you've been here forever, my G. And appreciate you, man. Also, Chenamemba. Run gun. Great to see you, man. Also, Chenamemba. Appreciate you, brother. Senor Bub, sport of the brand, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Also, moderator. So, spec the name. Mike McClune, Kurt 24. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Get a cheese, Senor Bub. Let's see. Sport brand, Kurt 24. Kurt 24, Sport brand, bro. Let's see. Who else we got? Hey, come out in PLA. Yo, come out in PLA member for 39 months. And his message is, what's up, Pimpin? No, he says, what's poppin', Pimpin? Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. 39 months of support. Come on, PLA. Does not play. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Sport brand, Kurt 24. Eagle Run 23. I know we're doing some repeats here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Come on, PLA, my guy. HK and anything OD Green Master Race. I don't necessarily disagree with much of what you're saying, my friend. OD Green is like sex. I mean, it's just always great, even when it's sloppy, you know? I don't know. That's the way I look at things. Sport brand, Mike McClune, Kurt 24. Sport, hey, there he is. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, brother. Great to see you, man. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Lightning McQueen on the scene, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see, Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen, Stifler Manufacturing. Let's see. Actually, we have to also give a big shout out to Gideon Optics. We're going to be testing out one of their Omega RMR red dots. Can't wait to test and show it off. Well, guess what, my guy? The Gideon Omega is what I mounted on the RXM. But be careful with what you mount it on, because if the glass is too close to the breech where the shells extract, it might kick out and hit the glass every single time. And after a couple hundred rounds, that glass may be MIA. So just, depending on what you mount it on. I'm just keeping it real. It's happened a few times. Gideon has, we've talked about it. Everything is excellent. And the same thing happens to SROs, bro. Straight up. But SROs, those are American made. Yes, the Japanese glass on the American made, hot takes, hold up. On the American made optic does break when brass kicks it 500 times. I'm just saying. Fat Rooster, brother, great to see you. I almost got everything ready to send out to you, man. I'm super pumped. Cannot wait. Check out Fat Rooster _1 on IG, because the Cerakote work that he does is awesome. And no, there's no price tags. So if you see it, you probably can't afford. I'm just kidding. No, but he does like big batch stuff. But yeah, super dope work. It's incredible. Check it out. Fluffy Bunny, Kurt24, Bartom Fink, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Fluffy Bunny, Lightning McQueen on the scene. Favorite color green, Freestyle King. All right, we'll come back with the OGs and we'll introduce you. But for the ladies and gentlemen that have been waiting for me to introduce the esteemed guest coming on for the first time all week, Red Dawn Readiness. Yeah, sorry.
Hot shit. We're
Mm.
going down, down, baby. Yo, straight
Oh,
in a Range Rover.
Street sweeper, baby. Yes, it's just Red Dawn, guys. But I mean, that was cool with the whole like intro and the red light and all that. Hot. Hey, yo, my guy Craig,
Shout out Getting Optics.
bro. I'm glad you get to enjoy your thing for at least a week. And man,
What's
everyone
up,
show
Craig?
some love. What's up, Craig? How
What's
you
up,
get
Craig?
fired on your day off? Smokey, you taking a I'll say this. Because he openly talked about it before, I think it's okay to bring it up. Craig is going to be at least at this point planning on turning himself in this coming up Friday, and he's going to be gone for a few months. And man, we're going to miss you, brother. We'll be here if you can pull a Gert chop, dog, and get a butt phone. Yo, do it. We would love to hear from you, man. You know, maybe if Craig could, okay, hear me out. Ow. If Craig could put my burner phone number as one of his like phone numbers he could call, right? And then on a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, 10 p.m. or beyond, if they are still allowed phone time, he could call into the show. You know what I'm saying? So, but everyone please give blessings on blessings on blessings to Craig, man. It's gonna be a few short months and he'll be right back. So we'll be right here for you, brother. And but I'm sorry, butt phones sound that was a good one. But we love you, brother, and we appreciate you. And he did say twice while we were talking, he was like, "Yo, the most important thing that you guys have done is bring 2A people together." And I appreciate that because we do notice that a lot of us have, instead of just having like channels, we just have, we have, instead of just having a channel, we have communities, right? Like, a lot of times we take care of each other, we support each other, there's a whole bunch of things that um we're there for each other when we need. But tonight with this show, we're about to destroy all of that with these hot takes. So before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our boy Red Dawn. Red Dawn is a great friend of mine. He is fluent in 6 languages. And I'm just kidding. Red Dawn, take a moment, introduce
16.
yourself. 16.
Yep.
Yeah.
Freedom, liberty, independence,
Mm.
faith,
Taxes,
anti-communism,
cheating on taxes. That counts as 2, I guess.
that you speak that language.
I don't.
I'm always getting money back and
I
robbed
think
every 2
to
weeks.
cheat, you gotta. Or let me stop.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yes, Red Dawn Readiness on all
Yeah.
platforms. Check me out. Lives on Wednesdays and Friday nights. Most of you guys already know who I am. But if you're new to this channel, we don't believe you. And but if you are new, welcome. And come over
Put
to
it
Red
in
Dawn
chat.
Readiness as well.
If you are really new, say it in
that.
chat. Be like, I'm new. What's up? And then everyone will be like, what's up? Fed. They'll call you Fed for like 5 minutes. And then once you say something cool that shows that you know at least a little bit about firearms, then they'll welcome you. But just 3 people left. You know what? They were probably Feds. So that's okay. Barton Fink, too soon, bro. The butt dial we would be looking forward to. Yes. Dark fell asleep polishing his knife collection. Man, you know what? I finally went to eat food super late and taking care of the dog, and I'm like responsible for lives and stuff. Oh, it's the worst. No, it is great. I love it. But yeah, sorry. Anything else you wanted to say? Hey, Seed,
No,
brother, good to see you.
I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah. TMC, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. TMC, Garen Wilson, anyone else that I missed? Would you like to say hello to anyone?
Hello to everyone. I know almost all of you guys, but if I did that, we'd have to do this all over again for another 25 minutes. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to like
hello, my
hello,
brothers.
hello. So I think, look, I think the best thing to do. Oh, that's true. We do have to do this before we get started. Hold, please.
Am I holding? Am I holding? Surefire lights should come with a switch. Crazy that they don't come with a switch. That's crazy. And I froze for a sec.
They should come with a Glock switch. So for all those people, that say they're getting cut, then they open up a package and it's a blade from Definition Knives, and then they're like flicking it and flicking it and flicking it, and they can't really get used to the access lock, so they may kind of fumble with it, and then they'll cut themselves. So what we wanted to do as a company, we wanted to provide you with your first Band-Aid, or set of Band-Aids rather, from Definition Knives. And by the way, shout out, you know who made these, bro? They kind of look like dog treats from back here. Your boy, Frag Out.
My kids would stick those all over their bodies.
I probably would not
their
recommend that you have them then. All their baby dolls got Definition Knives. The stickers are fire. Frag Out Design Studios designed that, just like he designed the DK logo and all that. So look, I got a little list, man. I don't know.
There is a Glock that comes with a switch.
I mean, I don't know if you could call it a switch. It's not what people would typically refer to a switch today, but milled into the slide on a different frame. There's a piece inside that when I mean, it is a switch, but it's not what we refer to a switch nowadays as, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Did you know that if you got a Glock 18 slide, that you cannot put it on a Glock 17?
Really? Is that because it's 19 length?
No.
17 length?
No, but thanks for asking. No, it is 17 length. I have a solution, by the way. I just don't know if I'm that committed to it. I mean, it would take about 15 minutes, and I would find out real quick how committed I am. But
about
we'll
$200.
Yeah, I'm about $200 committed. No, but the frame is
just
different.
get like a 17L and run ports like for like a foot.
Bro, honestly, I'm really tempted to just get a 17L slide and call it a day, because all I did was remove a little bit of polymer. That's fine. I'll hold a lighter to that joint for 5 minutes. And
it'd be cool if you got it like Cerakoted, like the Joker colors.
Yeah, because it's like the super duper long boy. Demo man, your package is going out, my boy. I'll send you your tracking. I already got your tracking and all that together. Certainly not a Fed says, I once asked Frag Out to turn informant. He proceeded to laser engrave a butt on my forehead. I believe that all day.
Hilarious.
I had to fetch my own switch. Dark is telling us about his final solution. Oh man. Hot take number 2. Okay, hang on. Hot take number 2. Most people with a $3,000 AR build would get outshot by a guy with a stock PSA. Totally agree.
Probably most of them, yeah.
Yeah, but
Some
look,
wouldn't,
most dudes don't run their guns, and that's kind of,
most
we're
people don't
actually
run
gonna
their
get this going
PSAs either, though.
Yeah, exactly. Most people don't run their PSAs or their arrows or their super dookies or whatever,
We talked about this
Honestly,
today. It's like 99% of gun owners are not into guns the way that we're into guns.
oh, for sure, for sure. So initially it was,
They just
most
have one.
people aren't like most dudes aren't into guns like we are. And it was like, yeah, most gun owners aren't into guns the way we are. And I don't shoot that much like on the regular like that. Like I don't want to claim to be, and this is kind of where
For
the whole
sure.
idea of like the average gunfighter came from, right? Because I was like, I don't want to claim to be like something like above average ever, right? Above average shooter, nope. Above average volume of amp, nope. Above average, what? No, I'm just the average gunfighter, which is why I'm actually still considering changing my channel name to
You could be the
the average
above
gunfighter.
average stockpiler.
The slightly above average hoarding,
Hoarder.
yeah, yeah. Anything over $600 is too much for an AR. Total waste. We got to get into it.
What? No
He's
way.
tripping. I know who that is. He's
Tripping.
tripping. My man's got $3,000 Glocks, so we're not going to get into that. So, what
You'd
would
be
you like
lucky
to
to
start
get a
with?
Glock for 600.
For real, yeah. I mean, like literally, like you're paying
Literally.
it 6.25 for a Gen 5 MOS. Now, that's not to say that you can't get a, police turn in Gen 3
Yep.
for $300, 350 or something like that. I've seen them. I got a 21 for 275 or something like that. I think I paid a
Nice.
little more, but it was under 3. And then I got that Glock 30S, which is the 30 SF frame with the skinny 36 slide on it. It is excellent. 11 rounds of 45 ACP and a gun smaller than a 19. Bro, forget about it.
That's very true, tactical turkeys. Most people don't leave their weapon system the
On weapon
same way
systems, yeah.
long enough to get data
I
on it. They change the optic and then change the barrel and then
mhm.
change this and
Most
that's my
people don't
goal
even
all year
know
is just data.
most people don't even know what like dope is or a dope card or anything like that. All right, let's get into it. So what do you want to start with?
Um let's see.
Oh,
There's so
dang,
many.
Eagle Run is dumping. Hot take number 5. It seems like I missed like at least 3 of yours, Eagle Run. But I think it does only show me top chat, just FYI. Hot take number 5. AKs only beat ARs in one category, looking better when rusty. They do look fire when they're rusty, I'm not gonna lie. So there's a little bit more to unpack with that, in my opinion. I think that AKs prior to the inception of 300 Blackout, AKs did one thing better: 30 caliber, right? And then the 300 Blackout was
Yep.
created, and all of a sudden, your standard sized, AR-15 can throw a 30
I mean,
cal
overall though,
super
seven
subsonic.
it's still better than 300 blackout. Besides the quiet part, it's still a better round.
What, 7.62 by 39?
Yeah,
Better,
just more
better.
energy with
What better?
more
What?
energy, more energy
How much more
on
energy?
target. I don't know. We'd have to, if you
A little
want
bit.
mathematical equations, yeah, we could look it up. But it's moving a little quicker.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a difference it is, but it's not a. I mean, I got several AKs. I own multiple AKs. They're just those guns that are like, yeah, I got some of those. It's like shoes in a way. Grand Turkey, bro. Welcome back to Chana membership, my friend. Thank you so
Nice.
much. Grand Turkey 72 has joined the Kim Light Battalion. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes.
7.62 by 54R. Don't sleep. Fax
Mhm.
machine, bro. That thing is nasty.
Monster,
Nasty.
monster
All
gun.
right. I'll start with this. Sig 365. Overpriced and overrated.
Ooh, no, definitely not. It's not overpriced. It's like $500.
Are you gonna carry that standard $500 365?
An XL, I would carry a standard XL out the box
You ain't getting
all
an
day.
XL for 500.
Yeah,
Not
550.
for
Yeah,
500.
yes, you can go to Academy Sports. You get one tomorrow.
Maybe out my way they're a little bit more expensive, but so
Maybe.
why is it not overrated?
It's just not. It's a good carry gun. Like if you just want a small gun to carry, that's not really like a pocket shooter. It's a good gun.
Mhm.
I mean, if you don't want to carry a full size gun, it's a good gun. If you want high capacity in a small gun, it's a good gun. I
Yeah.
mean,
How much rounds are you squeezing in that thing?
17 in a
Yeah.
tiny little gun,
Yeah. And it carries pretty easily, right?
very easily.
And what would be so for something like similar, like I don't know, Glock 43X, right? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Um,
That
it could
only
fit
has a 10 round
15,
standard mag from the
17,
factory. Only a 10 round factory mag.
21. That's it. Only a 10 round, but that's all you can fit in there.
Yep.
Someone's salty
factory.
already.
From
Well, yeah,
the
if you
factory.
only ran the okay, so then let's keep it
Yeah.
real. If you only bought the $500 365, at least where I'm at, you're getting the 10 plus one. You might get a 12 plus one magazine in that thing.
Oh, so we're only allowed to use the mags that come with it. It's still
That's
higher.
what you just said.
It's
That's what
no,
you just
I
said.
didn't say. I didn't say if you
You said,
buy
"Oh, that's the one it
factory
comes with."
mags.
That's the one it comes with.
No, I said factory. I didn't say the ones it comes with. I said factory.
I mean, should I run this back real quick or
Yeah, I said factory mags.
Look,
I
I'm
said
just
you can only fit 10 round factory mags in that gun.
I'm just saying. Factory or not, 21 rounds in that thing is great. 15 rounds in that thing is great.
It's
And
awesome.
in my opinion, the aftermarket support for it is great. And I'm not here to pump up the 43X and 48. And there's a lot of stuff available for you know,
They're
365
good
and
guns. I
whatnot.
mean, look, we're talking about the two highest purchased carry concealed micro nines on the market.
Yeah, I just think they're overpriced and overrated. I
Both
think
of them.
look, the
I can
no, I'm
agree
saying
with
the
you.
365.
I think micro nines in general are overrated. Overrated guns. I think that you should carry a Glock 19. It's
I think you
small as
should have a
shit.
standard size Glock. Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
should carry a standard Glock that takes standard, you know, standard capacity.
I'm not mad at you if you carry that. It's still like you have a gun you can put in work. You got 10 rounds or more.
Yeah,
Um,
I carried the Glock 43X and I carried the 43X for like years, like literal years, and loved it. But it was like something just kind of haunted me about not having something, even though I had another gun on me. Taking standard Glock mags, I think, is too important to ignore. But I think, yeah, and the MMP's good too, right? We talked
yep.
about that. MMP's great. But what I'm saying is, like, if I wanted to go, okay, so let's say I didn't want like the standard 365. If I wanted the Spectre comp, what are those going for? A G stack.
I don't think you can even get the Spectre comp. I haven't seen a Spectre comp for sale at
Yeah, I
all.
don't know.
I think they've kind of phased them out with the macro.
They had a
I
black
carry a
one.
Spectre comp.
Hmm.
That's what I carry. But
But
it's really a macro slide on a XL, the same frame, the laser etched Spectre frame. That's what I carry. But yeah, they're like a
Facts,
G
Eagle
stack.
Run
SIG overcharges for their pistols in general.
for everything.
Everything. They overcharge you for everything. And I'm going to tell you the truth. If the military didn't adopt the 320, that gun would be dead.
Yeah, I agree. That gun would be exactly where the SIG 250 is, which is nowhere.
Nowhere.
But I also am not a SIG. I have several SIG products. Okay.
Me
I
too.
think the SIG 320 is overpriced and overrated.
Highly
And I
overpriced and
also
way overrated.
So I'll even back it up a little bit more and say this: the Sig 365 I said was overpriced and overrated. I own one, right? The
Yeah.
Sig 320 I think is
I think you
overpriced
would
and
feel different
overrated.
if you had any other 365 though, and you shot it. I think you would be
Maybe.
like, this thing's sweet.
Maybe. I mean, if I had the only one I would actually consider getting would be like the so not the what's the not like the fuse or anything like that. I think
That
it's
shit's
just
dope.
it's not it's not my thing.
It's
But
just
even
not
you used to carry the three. I know you still carry the 365 like for like when you're working and stuff. But
pretty much now. If I know there's like I'm not going somewhere where there's metal detectors, I carry
mhm,
my Glock 19. Like I know my
yeah.
route for the day, so I'm like, or if I don't have like management riding with me and they're not like, what's that in your shit?
So why is that?
Yeah, because like they're riding in my car and shit. So like
No, I'm saying
majority of the time I carry Glock 19.
why do you carry a Glock 19?
Um, honestly, I feel better. Okay, I can't pick anything up. I feel better with it in my hand. Like I feel better managing the explosion that's taking place. I feel like I've trained more with it now because I train with my Glock every time I go to the range, my 45 for like duty stuff. I
Mhm.
haven't been to an indoor range in too long. I need to get back to an indoor range. I know Eagle Run said if you only train at an indoor range, you're not really training. I
Yeah,
completely agree, but I
I
also think
agree.
indoor ranges are unless you're like the dude that lives at the outdoor range, then yeah, you don't even need an indoor range.
I think it's
However,
good to
I
have
think
both.
I think it's good to have both. Indoor ranges can give you uh precision data without having to like walk down and mark your target and do this. Like you can just stand there, test something. You can get better testing for just
But
stagnant shooting
yeah, but there's
stuff,
some elements you don't get like wind and stuff like that. But
of course.
it's still good
But
for
when
like
you're sighting in an optic, you don't really want wind.
no, I'm saying like if you're doing like if you're at 100-yard range or something like that, that's something you
Mhm.
can't really take into consideration. I'm not saying you want wind. I'm just saying seeing how the projectile reacts in the wind or whatever.
Well, yeah,
But
you gotta have both. But I think you would want to sight it in
some of
without
the best
wind.
classes I've taken have been at indoor ranges, you know? Um,
Okay.
so yeah, even the SIG 320, which I personally think is overpriced and overrated. I own two of them. Well, like two and a half, honestly. But
Yeah,
I
I had
also
two of them. I begged to get rid of them, and I did.
so I have a hot take on Safari Land, but I want to hear what you have to say about Safari Land first.
They're really great. I think for the money, it should come with a mod button and wrapped however you want, and should be in stock and shipped quickly. Um, Overall, I think Safari Land is still kind of the standard. They're a little bit heavy, but I mean, you want durability, so
For the price, they should probably come with the gun that the Safari Land fits. But yes, no,
no, not that much.
so I literally have in here Safari Land is the best duty holster company on the planet, like
Yes.
in existence. They do a lot of other cool and dope stuff. It's not really a hot take. It's just something I threw in there. A lot of other people are going to disagree. Some people are going to say, no, alien gear. You know, my cousin has an alien gear holster with the built-in tourniquets that say they're not really tourniquets.
I mean, I have to say,
You
and I
know,
don't, I don't know if you have tested all the newest duty holsters out there, but I do have a feeling that people have been coming close with some of their newest designs.
I've seen some. I
Um,
haven't actually like tested them, but I've
mhm.
spent a little time with G Code, with Alien Gear. I think honestly, I thought when Alien Gear came out with okay, so I'll say this hot take: the Alien Gear drop leg rig with built-in tourniquets is ridiculous. Now, pause for a second. When it first came out, I was pumped. I was like, dude, that is such an ingenious
with
design.
the drop leg, what the
It's a
tourniquet
drop
thing?
leg. Yeah, it's a drop leg holster with built-in tourniquets.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, if you get clapped, you can literally just on your drop
It's
leg
still a good idea.
crank. It's a good idea, but if you read description, it literally says, "Do not use this to in place of a real tourniquet.
Well, that's for
Use
liability
it."
reasons.
Yeah, I just when you say, "Check out this
Because
built-in
you can't
tourniquet."
market it like it's as reliable as a cat tourniquet. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah,
So you're
well,
gonna
then
get
they
sued.
shouldn't have put it out. They should have put it. If you're like, "Yo, check out this holster I made with a built-in tourniquet, but don't use it as a tourniquet." It's like that you can't do that, you
I
know?
mean, why not make a holster where you can run your tourniquet through it and just keep your tourniquet there?
Ooh. Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Someone could. Well, I don't know if I want that strapped to me. I mean, I'm cool with it
Right, just
strapped to my gun belt.
carry another one.
You
Just
know.
keep one there.
Yeah, but like, what are you gonna do with the windlass? That thing could be flopping around if you got to jump a fence or something. You know, I don't know.
I feel you.
When I
Bungee,
first saw it,
bungees.
yeah. But then you got to rip the bungee off to spin the windlass. I don't know. I don't think there's a way. I think that was an excellent idea. I think it was a great, you know, execution of marketing. I think it all of that. I mean, when we pulled it up when we first saw, we were like, dude, this is genius. Why is this the first company that thought of this? This is such a great idea. And then it's like, yeah, but don't use it in place of a tourniquet.
So dust is going on about how we don't know. No one knows anyone who's actually had an ND or had a SIG go off on them.
So
And
I'll just keep just so real quick, just to address Crump's comment, because I don't
okay, go
think
ahead.
either one of us said anything yet about SIG 320s. I know why it's near and dear to Dust's heart, and Dust, we love you, you know that.
Yeah, we get it.
And he runs a 320 and he runs it
And so
well.
far, it has not fired itself on its
Yeah.
own.
Yeah, it only has fired when he presses the
Although when
trigger.
the SIG 320 did first come out, they did have to do an involuntary recall because there was guns dropping, like admitted by SIG that when they released
Yeah,
the gun, it would fire when you drop it. Admitted by
because of
SIG.
the size, heft, and weight of the trigger. The trigger was
The heft of the
heavier
trigger.
than
Yep.
the
And
yeah.
there was a problem in the slide that they ended up having to remill slides a different way.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, you can tell an updated one by the inside of the slide. There's a divot on, I think, the right side. There's like a divot that was causing some type of impact to the internal firing pin safety and
Interesting.
causing it to go off. I don't know, but you can go look up if you still have an old 320, there's an involuntary recall.
Or
Now
a 250 as well. You can
or
do
250.
if you have an old 250. Just to address the comment though, so John Crump Live sent a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says a 320 is like a Tesla. A Tesla drives itself. A 320 shoots
Shoots
itself.
itself.
Woof. Look, there is a woman at a police agency that is very close to my home. And she was, and this is all on camera, she was getting out of her vehicle and her holster that was a level 3 Safariland like bumped into the steering wheel on the way out and it discharged and it fired into her femoral artery and she was able to apply a tourniquet onto herself. She did code out. She almost died, and then she ended up making it to higher care, and she was okay. I'll take this down just so I don't feel the fire. But normally, if someone told me that story, right, and then also when they were about to go into discovery, Sig paid a settlement and killed the lawsuit. So, you know, the SIG 320 stuff ends today. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it does. Because
They paid a couple settlements.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like it's super, super suspicious, the Friday after next. It's suspicious, Holmes. It's making me think a lot. It's
Unlock doors.
no unlocked doors. I'm the Aztec warrior, Holmes. It's it's a little suspicious to be like, oh, okay, hold on, Discovery. So you want to look at all of our internal documents? You know what? We'll pay you $11 million instead. Right? It's like, whoa, what? It's like if your girl is like, give me your phone, and you're like, nah. And she's like,
Yeah.
give me your phone. And you're like, no, I'm gonna take you to the mall and get you a Louis bag and take you to dinner and take all of a sudden it's like, what are you hiding in your phone, bro? That's all I'm saying. It's a little suspect. Now,
Siggy's been known
typically,
to
if
beta test stuff, rush things to market, and I just think the 320 is just not a great design. I think that they were one of the first to try to make this FCU something that it's not, and for them anyways.
probably did, it
And
could have been. No, she didn't get 11 million. I exaggerated. I think they paid her like 3 to 4 million. But here's okay, if you guys just hearing that story from me, I do not expect anyone to take what I'm saying and just like believe it, right? So believe this. I have a family member that works in the service industry, and they were the ones that cleaned her frothy red blood out of the cruiser. So pinky promise, trust me, 100% that happened. And I spoke to the family member afterwards that was like, I've never seen more blood in my entire life. And the badge cam caught it.
did she get
And
shot in the ear? Because I hear the ear bleeds the most out of any other part in the body.
it just bleeds.
It just bleeds.
It
It's
does.
like nothing you've ever seen.
I'll tell you what, you know what bleeds a lot? Phalanges.
Yeah.
Fingers just bleed. The ear do bleed a lot. It does. It does. And I'm not trying to just, like crash the parade on the SIG 320s. It just like a lot of this is preference, right? But it is so a lot of times we take the information around us and only look at what's happening like directly around us. Now, most
Yeah.
people will say, I heard this and I heard SIG 320s going off, and then they'll go around screaming it. Then the other people that hear it will go around screaming it. So, of course, that stuff echoes louder than anything else, right? But a lot of times we take the sample size that's with us, right? So, like Dust had the Holosun issues, right? And he had his Holosun issues, and those were like his experiences. So, no one can ever tell him anything different because he firsthand experienced that, right? Whereas like with me, I got 3 Holosuns, thousands and thousands of rounds through all 3 of them, and actually the fourth whatchamacallit, magnifier. I literally have this many rounds through the magnifier, but all the other ones I got
It's a
I
good
mean,
magnifier though.
yeah, it seems to be pretty good. There's a lot of good things said about it. Um, that's like my sample size of 3, right? So that's like my, immediate so, you know, like Dust's experience with his 320 and all the dozens and dozens and hundreds or maybe even of people that he sees shooting 320s with what he does, he hasn't seen that happen or had that happen. But even if only one went off, he'd be like, yeah, but that was just like one out of, the hundreds and hundreds. So I get it. It
Or if
may
I was
be
like,
like,
I actually had one go off, would that like change everything? Would
yeah,
everyone
that's
have to just bow down to the one that I had that went off?
yeah,
Like,
it's your individual experience. So
yeah.
like I'm not, trying
The thing
to
is it's been years and years of different shit with the SIG 320. It's not like it's just a couple people went on the internet and this all happened in like a week. It's
yeah.
been years. The drop
Dude,
issue, then them going off, them changing the design slightly over time. All that stuff is like,
but also that
well,
dude's video, the Proto brand or whatever his name is.
proto
Um
brand.
Bro, his videos are like nuts. He's
Yeah.
got receipts on every single thing. Like
Yeah. I think
everything.
he went into too much instead of focusing only on the 320 and the issues with it, but he covered it. But I do think I heard a dude, he's like a gun designer or something on Instagram talking about it. And basically the design is that there's only one internal safety in the 320 with a fully cocked striker versus a Glock, which has a partially cocked striker and 2 internal safeties.
Mhm.
So if that one internal safety on the 320 fails in any way with a fully cocked striker, the gun's going to go off.
That makes sense.
And that design alone, I'm not interested. Just hearing that, I don't even need to hear about the other stuff or anything else that happened. If somebody
Yeah.
said that to me, hey, this gun has 2 internal safeties and a half cock striker, and this one has 1 with a fully cocked striker. If anything goes wrong with that, then the gun's gonna shoot. So like,
Technically,
I'm
there's
good.
3.
Give me the one with the Glock. Yeah, technically there's
Yeah,
3 safeties. Yeah, but they don't even have that one either.
But here's another thing to
So
consider too. So let's think all the way back. Let's take a look at the last 100 years, okay? 100 years. If you think of like so back in the day, okay, let's even just go off of something simple. Back in like the 80s and 90s and even in the early 2000s, if you were watching a movie and a gun dropped, what would happen? It would always go off in the movie, right? Like it would always go off. That doesn't come from nowhere, right? There we're learning now in this day and age that guns that we have trusted for the last century, I'm talking from 1911 to today, 1903 to today, 1908 to today, the same kind of style, right? Like internal hammers, single action 1911, the 1903s and 08s and all that. Um, they're not safe, they're not drop safe, and like Grantham did a good video aside from him like impregnating like 9 families. So he did do a good job. Hot take. Grantham is a disgusting freak. Yeah, the 2011s, 1911s, and a lot of these you know I don't want to name it like one particular brand, but a lot of those guns are not safe. They are not drop safe. Shotguns, Remington 870s,
it's like
Mossberg
when doctors
590s,
used to tell
Mossberg
people that
500.
smoking cigarettes was safe.
Yeah, it's safe. It actually helps you lose
Actually,
weight.
everyone should just have at your restaurant, sit and eat your dinner and let everyone smoke around each other in the restaurant while you're eating
Yeah,
food and doing
yeah.
and now we don't do that anymore.
It creates an ambiance,
It
but
definitely
it
creates
is.
an ambiance.
They used to, I mean, they called it like Israeli carry, where you carry with a hot mag in a cold chamber because of the risk with, carrying one in the chamber.
Yep.
Those guns were not drop safe, right? And then you think it's like, well, hold on. So that gun, let's use the 1911 as an example. How could it not be safe? There's so many safeties, bro. It's got a manual thumb safety
It's
that
got
only
more
stops
safeties
the
than the
trigger.
320 does.
Yeah, it does. It's got a manual thumb safety, but that thumb safety only prevents the trigger from
Trigger from
physically being
being
pulled, right?
Yep.
But it's got the lemon squeezer safety, aka the beaver tail safety, that also only prevents the trigger from being pulled. So what
Yeah.
happens is if anything in the world happens to make the hammer slip, sometimes it'll stop at half cock, but it depends. Teehee, half cock. But sometimes it depends on the amount of energy and inertia pushing it forward. Because guess what? That is a free floating firing pin with a spring in front of it. So if it's enough inertia, it doesn't matter. That thing is
Yeah.
striking that round and it's going off. And
Yep.
sadly, we, had that experience with likely a friend of ours, from a dropped firearm. So it's still
This
not safe
may
to
be a
drop
hot
guns.
take or not a hot take, but I think almost every gun that has the ability, which there are shotguns and there's certain hunting rifles and stuff. I know those can also go off from being dropped. But
For sure.
pistol wise, I think pistols like they need to be like labeled. This gun is not drop safe. This
Yep.
gun, like, be honest with the customer who's getting the freaking gun because yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you should know
Well,
that. It
and
shouldn't be like mysterious.
for companies that do not uh, are not honest about their products, and for companies that don't want the risk, liability, the decrease in sales, whatever, if they don't call it out, then the consumers and the community needs to be the ones that are out there like, yo, 2011s are not job safe, 1911s are not job safe,
Yeah,
blah blah blah. Like we need to be the ones to scream it loud enough to hear it. So honestly, I'm not mad about that. I mean,
for sure.
if people are saying or talking about 320s, then I'm sure there's a reason. Like we need to inform people of stuff that's going on. Does it get blown out of proportion? Of course, I'm sure it does.
And there's a lot of shady stuff going on in the gun industry. There's a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
things that, are not always honest, unfortunately. But I mean, that's what the gun community is there for, to, people that test the stuff. And apparently we are the beta testers, because
DLD is afraid to have dust on the panel, like he's afraid of the 40 Smith & Wesson after it saved his life. Don't worry. 40 Smith & Wesson is on the list too. I'm not Dust. Very few companies are honest. Dust, do you want to come on? You're welcome to come on. This was not a bust the 320 thing.
no.
And actually, Dust, you said something about the 320 before anything. It was a comment that was up. All right.
He was talking about it on his live. I made a comment like, I didn't come on because I was getting ready to come on here, but we could talk about it. The 320 is the 320.
Oh, hold on.
Dude.
If y'all are
At this
bringing
point,
other beef on
yeah,
here,
I don't have any other beef. I don't know. I mean, he said the
oh my
Holosun
bad.
SCS is good to go. I guess he's been doing some like stress testing on the SCS and stuff.
My bad, Dust. I didn't see your text, bro. I usually ignore the text messages when I'm on the stream. Okay. Hellcat is overrated.
Yes. Yeah.
I also
like
put
shit.
overpriced with a question mark, but
Yes. I mean, but we live in Bidenomics. So like everything's overpriced. It's like saying milk is overpriced and overrated. It's like, yeah, I guess
true.
right now it
That's
fucking
true.
is. Like, but milk
Hey,
is like you're gonna,
all the Hellcats and the cars too. The cars too. He said the car and the firearm. Dang.
I think the Hellcat Pro is a decent gun. I mean, I actually like the Hellcat Pro. I would run a Hellcat Pro if I didn't have to buy it. If someone
Look,
gave me one, I would put it in my carry rotation. I think it's a good size gun. I haven't got to shoot it. Like I got to shoot the regular Hellcat. I had one, but
yeah, I haven't shot it, so I can't talk that much smack about it.
yeah.
It just seems like there's so much hype for it, and it doesn't seem like
Well, the
it's
reason
worth
was
it.
they came out like this is the Glock 19 killer.
Mm-hmm.
But they
I don't
also
know
did
why
that
they
with the
do that.
Echelon. The Echelon's like, this is the other Glock. I
Yeah.
just said this, like they were a little late to the game. The Hellcat was a little late to the game. The Echelon was super late to the game. The Echelon already in testing the release of the gun,
I'm gonna
it's
grab a
10
drink real
times
quick.
better than a P320. It's you got your FCU, people have gotten it, tested the snot out of it. I don't know if anybody's beat it with a fucking hammer, but we haven't seen or heard of any issues besides maybe over insertion of the mag, which also can happen on P320s. They actually have an over insertion. The only thing stopping the magazine from going over inserting into a 320 is the base plate. So
Dusty
Buns, what's up?
All right.
What's up, brother?
Thank you for having me on. I told you
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sorry,
be nice.
I didn't see your text.
You guys had me spinning in this chair in 360 going crazy because it's super hard to type what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
And there's a delay on it too.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm just going nuts here. All right. One, Hellcat, trash. Don't care. It shoots better when it has an actual trigger on it. But outside of that, it's garbage. It will
Have you
run.
Have you shot the Pro? Have you shot
I
the
shot
Pro?
the Hellcat. I shot the Hellcat Pro. I shot it with a comp. I shot it with a stock
Because
trigger.
the Pro is supposed to have a better trigger than the.
It's trash.
Yeah.
Everybody with a Hellcat literally gets rid of it.
Which is crazy because the Echelon has a phenomenal trigger. Like a really
the Echelon,
phenomenal
you know
trigger.
what? I wouldn't carry an Echelon. The Echelon isn't bad.
Yeah.
It runs. Actually, the Echelon saved Springfield from the Prodigy. Okay.
Yes, it did.
He was spinning
320. Yeah,
320.
not even. I was spinning this way and then coming back this way. Listen, all right.
Yo,
This
Goonbeam killing it.
talk
Shout out
on
to
the
Goonbeam.
320. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not defending it. I just been seeing a lot of stuff about it, right? I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it, and this is where I'm.
Did you watch that video? I think I sent it to you a while
And
back.
everybody just going crazy about these P320s blowing up. They're doing this. They're doing that. Dog. ADs and NDs do not break guns. They don't.
I think those are separate issues, though.
They
Like,
hold on,
like,
hold
like
on.
the
Wait,
I've been seeing the same videos.
Wait, yo, you literally have been talking this whole time. Just let me get this out. ADs are accidental discharge, mechanic failures. It's a way more broad situation than an ND. An ND is user. It's user
negligence.
error. It's negligence.
Yeah, I don't think
Which is
anybody would
user-
disagree with that at all.
Yeah, okay, but hold on. Wait, it's building to what I'm trying to get to.
Okay.
So, right? But the post that I'm seeing, and everybody is literally, and I said it on my live, eating corn the long way for their favorite content creator and their favorite instructor and their favorite whatever the case is. But it kills me that, okay, how many people you have here? You have
65 people.
You have 65 people. You are the closest one, DLD, to actually knowing somebody that you don't really know, but I will never discredit you because you know my relationship with you. You know how I am with you. I would never discredit you. So
yeah, and I
you
wouldn't
telling
put
me
it out if
something-
I didn't know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I wouldn't discredit you from that. But out of 65 people, there's 30 people in my chat. My chat's weak. It doesn't matter. 10 of those people are from here. So 20 people in my chat. Think about each and every individual, like how many people one person knows. And not one person is just like, yeah, I know somebody that shot themselves. Yeah, I know somebody that blew one up.
Bro, if that
Right?
was the case, SIG be out of business.
What do you mean? What do you
Like
mean?
if all the gun
everyone
owners
did
was
one.
like one in every 50, 60 people were shot by this thing, this shit would be
That'd be a
stripped off.
big
So
problem.
at one point, one in
That would be-
every 50 or 60 people were breaking Hollisons, dog. Why don't you go on Reddit just like everybody goes on Reddit and talks about these P320s? Why
I
don't
mean,
you
I
slow down?
believe Hollow Suns
me a
had
second.
issues when
Give
they
me a
came out,
second.
but those are
Give-
cheap red dots. They're not $600-700 pistols that the military bought and they gave to all the police departments and said you have to run these.
That brings it to another thing. I'm gonna just leave that alone right there because no one's gonna answer that they know somebody, right? That's evident. No one
Yeah,
knows
I just
somebody.
think that point is totally irrelevant.
DLD is the only person that doesn't even physically know the person.
Right?
DLD is credible, so we'll take that. That is acceptable. So we're talking out of
But what do we do with that? What do we do with that information? We're gonna talk back and forth.
Yeah, but yeah, I can't finish with you interrupting. This is a communication thing, right?
Well, I'm saying when you give a point, I just want to know, like, when you
Yeah,
say
but
his
if I'm
point
not-
is valid, what do we do with the information that Dark knows someone that happened
you
to?
suck it up and you absorb it, and I'm just kidding. But honestly, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. So I'll say straight up, it's deputy sheriff. The agency was at the time carrying 320s. After the incident, they switched back to Glocks. And if I didn't have a family member that, like, I would accept that story the same way I would accept all the other stories of whatever 320s, Hollisons, Hellcats, whatever, as like, I don't know it, I haven't seen it personally. If I didn't have a family member that was the one servicing the vehicles for that county that cleaned the, arterial blood out of the vehicle,
Which is wild, right? So it hits a little different for you. And
Yeah.
I get it. And I understand that. But what I'm saying is there's a lot more to this. So all this stuff that I've been seeing as of lately are guns broken. Guns don't break from ADs or NDs. Can we
Yeah,
at least
I think
agree
those
with
are
that?
two totally separate.
They're separate
situations.
issues.
Yeah.
It's a structural issue.
For sure.
It's a structural issue, right? Can we is it safe to agree?
Nobody
structure.
disagrees.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Like if a gun
I'm
blows
sorry,
up,
what is?
usually it's the ammo. That's what I would assume. If I
Yeah,
seen
but
a
now
chamber
having
explode, I'd be like, probably real bad ammo. That would be my assumption. Or
yeah,
horrible
but
forward,
also
but
like the
I wouldn't even
FCUs,
assume
right?
that
The
first.
FCUs aren't blown out, and this is something I'm thinking it's an overpressurized load. And then Jova brought something up. He's like, "Yo, FCUs are intact," and I'm looking at these pictures, and I'm like, "He's right." Can these
So
guns
people are
have?
making claims. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, people are making. Yeah, you're right. People are making claims, and 98% of people are running with this. Look at how things actually break. And this is my 9 to 5. Like I gotta assess situations mechanically, right? And with another tech involved, we're having a conversation. We look, we assess, we fit, we solve, come up with a solution fix. Fine. FCUs are intact, the frames are all broken in the same place. And I don't even want to stay on this for so long. I'm just saying, like, people literally have this thing where they pick and choose what's good and what's bad. And personally, I don't
For sure.
care about my P320. I'm actually retiring it real soon because it's been 3.5, 4 years, and I should have did this last year. It is what it is. I shoot exceptionally well with it because I have a lot of rounds with it. Fine. But we could talk about 1911s and how they're not drop safe, right? How many bolt guns are not
2011
drop safe? How many over
mhm,
unders are not drop safe? But nobody's
pump
going to talk about that.
shotguns.
How many times has a hunter, old school hunters,
I
fell?
talk about it.
I'm
I
just saying,
mentioned it
like,
earlier.
how, like, but yeah, I'm writing it in the chat. I'm going full blown
My
crazy in
father,
the
that
chat.
shit
Like,
happened with my father-in-law.
my
He was
keyboard was
hunting one day,
smoking.
and I
My
was like,
keyboard
"Why
was
wouldn't you keep the safety on?" And he's like, "Oh, because it makes a noise. It'll scare the deer." I'm like, "Not your
If
shit's
you don't
not
know how to
fucking
take
drop
the
safe." I
if
said,
you
"If
don't know
your
how to
shit's
take the
not drop
safety
safe, who
off,
cares?"
dude,
I'm
if you don't know how to take the safety off without making noise, you gotta
so
put
I
some
don't
work
like
into that.
Hollison, right? And like I feel like everybody has this wrong thing about the turkeys and myself, whatever. Like Hollison, yeah, I had a bad experience with Hollison, but I'm not
Mhm.
the only one. For a while, just like with other brands, there were issues. Hollisons could not run in cold weather and not even close to it, right? But now, when we ask the
No.
question, how many people actually shoot in less than 40-degree weather?
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
take that into
not many.
accountability.
Probably
Let's
not
talk about
many.
elevation. Let's talk about fog. Let's talk about precipitation. Let's talk about condensation. Let's talk about all this stuff. Everybody will skip that always.
I mean, I
No
don't
one
think
ever wants to talk
anyone would ever think Hollow Sun is like a duty grade or as good as an
about. There's
RMR.
cops running Hollisons.
All over.
But maybe they don't live anywhere where it ever really gets to 40 degrees. Maybe they
That's
live
not
in,
true.
I've seen more Hollow in badge cams recently, like over the last
yeah,
year, than I
Yep.
ever have before.
it's true.
So
I mean,
there's
honestly,
also
they've been known
there's
as
also
like the
videos
best
of
budget
contractors.
optic.
There's also videos of PMCs running OLights.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, but it is what it is, right? It
Yeah.
is what it is. Does it make it good because a PMC is running it and he's on his own dime for the
I mean, I
most
I
also
part?
mean,
saw
And
a
but I mean,
Ukraine. I
go
saw a
ahead.
Ukraine soldier literally in a trench with a Keltec Sub 2000.
yeah, but
And
I seen them in there with Hollow Suns too.
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think based on the experience that I've had with my three Holosons, I would say my three Holosons, I would put on my gun belt to go do anything.
Me
Period.
too.
Just because I haven't had a
Your
negative
SES
experience.
is discolored. That's enough said. If you know, you know.
Yeah,
And I'll leave it at that. I'm not
that
gonna even
shit's
dabble
turning
into it,
silver.
right? See,
I kind of like
if
it.
you know, you know, but people don't understand what it takes for it to turn silver
Yeah,
or something that came with a coating to discolor and
yeah. The
going
thing
back
was
to
anodized,
natural color.
bro. It was anodized.
Yeah, and
But
people don't even understand the procedure of anodizing. And
mhm,
like it's literally fucking electromagnetic, like
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
a whole different process. And for it to go down to silver, it's a different thing. But
Mhm.
my
Hollow Sun is
biggest
for
thing,
the pores.
Yeah, let
my
the pores
biggest
have something, man.
Yeah, let the pores have
fuck,
something.
like yo, bro. Sorry for cursing. I am so sorry.
That's all right.
Um, who my thing is that, like, yo, a lot of people, just like somebody said, most dudes with $3,000 ARs will get outshot by somebody with a Bear Creek, whatever he said. You know
Probably
what's
Okay.
crazy?
PS.
That's
Yeah.
true, because the people who are just buying $3,000 ARs, they got the money and they
But
just
aren't
don't
running it.
like that because it's high tier and I want to be able to flex. There's that world that I
Mhm.
cannot stand.
Yeah, and a lot of people that have that, they don't have one. So like
No, they
they
have them
have
all.
a fucking wall of them
Yeah,
shits, and it's
yeah.
like, yeah, they're not gonna run the
Yeah.
one. They're gonna grab a different shit almost every time they go to the range. They don't go to the range that often.
Yeah, which doesn't make you proficient, because if you're changing out
No.
everything constantly,
Yep.
you're never
Mhm.
gonna get good with one thing. You're never gonna be really, really good with one thing. You
Dude,
can,
I'm still running my 10-3, even though like I got my
and
super duties up here, and that's my. And then when that dies, then I'll be like, all right, I'll get the 11.5 super duty. You know,
but does it die? You know what I'm saying? Or do you
I'm
just,
probably just gonna
and
replace the Bolton BCG for real.
and
You
the
know,
only reason why people don't switch over like that is because it's like, yo, I don't. And me and Dudley from MD Arsenal had this conversation this morning. People don't want to put in
Higher
work.
end stuff is an investment for sure.
That's not always true. Um,
Well, it's a
that
financial investment, whether it's a gear investment or not, but you still have to fork up the money to buy something that's in the thousands of dollars. And
fair enough.
if that person doesn't feel like they need it for more than, or they're not gonna
Fair
like,
enough.
you know,
It's
do
a
anything
relic.
with it,
It's a
that's the
museum
investment
piece.
they're willing to make, you know?
Fair enough. It's all about the return on investment later
Yeah.
on, what it could
Yep.
possibly be. So I'll give that to you. What I'm saying is, like, a lot of people don't want to, and DLD, I'll say you're in this. Let's be honest. You don't want to put in the work to learn that new platform because you built and you've had so much time with this that it's like, I got X amount of years with this setup. And I know once I start running this, you're thinking about, yo, I'm gonna have to put in the work for X amount of years to get proficient with this, like I am with this.
I mean, I kind of set the 11.5. I kind of set it up like exactly the same as the 10-3, the light in the same spot, the optic in the same spot, like literally the same T mark on the top. The
And it
like
still doesn't feel the same. You
it's
cannot
still
tell me
different.
otherwise. It is
Of
still different.
course. I like the different feel, but also it's for me personally, it's a different situation because for the last month I haven't been able to shoot because the tendon damage in my arm. So I think I probably would have been taking it out more. But to the points that y'all were making about like people dropping thousands of dollars on a firearm, right? I think people look at something, and let's say they look at like or let's just keep it like somewhere in the middle. A $1,500 Geisley, they go on sale all the time for, let's call it $1,500. It is not just that $1,500 purchase, right? You may put $1,500 into the purchase of a rifle, but you for real are probably going to need to put 3 grand into ammo, and then X amount of $1,000 into, you know, the
It's a lot of
optic
money,
and
bro.
the you know, everything that goes on it and around it and in it. And I mean, it's
Or pay for a $700 training class or a
exactly
I was
the
about to
$500
say
classes
training
that
and
class,
nobody's
yeah,
talking about the gas or where this
or
training course is at or
time
what
away
you
from
need.
family, all
yeah.
that.
I mean,
So I
it's a massive investment to be great
Mhm.
yo,
with
no, it
something.
is a mass. It's time invested. And back to what I was saying, when you switch over to something else, you're like, bro,
It's
bro,
different.
this is a lot of work I'm gonna have to put in to even be close to being good with this setup.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, there are some things I do like about the different. That SSAE trigger, woo! That I like that
I
different.
think if Dark had the time, he'd be shooting the piss out of that thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I probably would.
I'm gonna
But
tell you,
also,
yo, the SSAE trigger or even the Gosley triggers, and it's crazy because I ran this little experiment on myself. If you run a mil spec trigger until you beat it in, which takes a long time to beat it in, and then you throw a Gosley trigger on it,
the Geisley trigger pull will be a little harder than your mil spec trigger.
no, 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 it won't. You're gonna be instantaneously faster.
Yeah, yeah.
like
No,
so fast that you might short stroke the trigger.
I did beat up the trigger before I put the binary in the 10-3, which a lot of people would be like, yo, anything with a binary trigger is not like duty, whatever you want to call it. Like we called it like civilian field grade or whatever, something like that, right?
And I'm
Civic
tired of that
duty.
too. Hot take.
Civic duty grade.
Yeah.
I got a hot take.
Dirty
Yeah.
civilian grade.
Dirty
Yo, I got a
civilian
hot
grade.
take.
Yeah.
I got a hot take.
Let me
You ready?
see.
What's that?
Are you? Because
DCG.
this is a hot take thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
As a civilian, I don't have to follow no one's SOPs or TTPs. It is a street fight.
Yeah,
I dictate what
mine.
I want to do.
But you make your own. That's what it is for
And
pretty much every
It's a
team.
revolving door.
Small
Everything
group.
changes.
Yeah.
As a civilian, if you have to unholster your firearm or grab your rifle, protect your family, yourself, your friends, your whatever, it has become a street fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
I agree.
Rules are out the window. SOPs, TTPs, all of it's out the window. There is only one main objective, and that is to put down your target.
I'll tell you
And that's
what.
how I see it. It's not a
I don't think
boxing
that's
match.
much of a
We're in
hot
street
take.
fight.
SOPs and TTPs really never came into play until you start getting a group of men together where
Yep.
it's like, okay, there are people that are all at different levels here. So we start, for an example, the conversation we had about my medical's here. Well, my medical's here. Well, I carry my
Yeah.
medical in a fanny pack. Well, mine's in a dangler. Well, mine's in a bleeder. Well, it was like, all right, everyone carry your medical for you at 6 o'clock on your back. Okay. If whatever's in there, if you got a camelback back there, we're treating you with a camelback. All right. Like whatever anyone's got.
But I mean,
for
when
medical for
you're in
yourself
your
is
house
6
by
o'clock.
yourself, or you have a wife, if you have
Totally
talked
different.
to her and been like, hey, if someone was to break in, I'm gonna grab my shit and go put that shit down however I have to. But you need to barricade yourself in, grab the gun,
Mhm.
make sure it's loaded, make sure you're here. Those are your SOPs and TTPs.
Have a
for your
code
own
word.
all that shit,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you want to work through
And
as much of, and that could change, right? Like
you're
it's a
right.
dynamic
It
situation.
will change.
Yeah.
And this is why I say this, because it's like training for your fight, right? Once they lock that cage, everyone has a plan so you get punched in the face.
Mhm.
Everyone has a plan to. I don't know if anybody's heard a shot ring off with no ears indoors. It's not pleasant. Let me tell you that. Let me
Yep.
tell you something. It's not pleasant. So your family SOPs and TTPs are gone.
When
still
all you
should make
hear
them,
is
though.
Even what you think, even what you think you're gonna do is gonna change. And the reason
For
I
sure.
even say this, right? The reason I even say this, and it's gonna sound stupid, and I'll talk about it. I don't care. When I first moved into the house I'm in, there's noises and there's certain things that you hear that you're not used to. Bro, I heard my ice maker. I literally
make weird
got up.
noises.
They do. I got up, unless you have Flying Rich's ice maker, then it's suppressed. But outside of that, I got up past 3 weapon systems and grabbed the 4th. The first weapon system
Grab
was
the one that you wanted.
7 inches from my head. I bypassed that. It was the first, and I got up. And while I'm calculating what's happening, because I think somebody's in my house, new neighborhood, new situation, don't know. I'm like, damn, already? This is crazy.
Mm.
And now it's before I figure out my whole house or anything, I'm going to meet the fight.
Ice machine gets me a lot too.
It's a real thing. The ice machine, I got up and I was like, yo, what the fuck?
It makes weird noises, bro.
And then I heard
it's
it
not
again.
always
It's
the
not
same. You know what I mean?
It's not consistent.
It's not consistent.
But outside of that, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. But the whole P320 thing.
Why is knowledge picking on Red Dawn, bro? He said ask RDR what TTPs and SOPs stands for.
Standard operating procedures. I'm chewing ice, so my mouth is a little swollen.
Standard procedures
and techniques, tactics, and procedures also? Is it
I believe
procedures
it's tactics, techniques,
Protocols?
and procedures.
All right.
Or
I
you
don't
don't
even
have to put them in the right order, bro.
I'm past that. I'm just saying, like, and with the whole, like, even with
I'm
1911,
behind, and I've scrolled
yeah,
back.
yeah. It's just like, yo, bro, like,
Yo,
I just hate
1911s and my bad, just real quick, and 2011s. I've also called out pump shotguns. Like I had no
Pump
idea.
shotguns.
I've been keeping my shotguns hot for like a decade plus with Mossberg 590,
Fudge.
Remington
As much as you
870.
drop shit,
Dude, you ain't lying. I
All right.
dropped stuff
How about
crazy.
this?
crazy.
Let's like suppressors.
Who doesn't know, bro? That's exactly what it is.
Cute.
Techniques, tactics,
Didn't he say it?
procedures. Yeah, standard operating procedures.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's just, bro, it is what it is. You know what else is a hot take?
What's that? I got a whole list, so we can keep them
Some
going.
knockoff gear on Amazon is as good as some fucking expensive gear.
I'm not
Oh,
getting into that. I let people
oh,
believe what they want to believe. And
Hey,
speaking of gear,
use it till it runs.
I'm staring at a buffer tube and a brace. But outside of that,
Yeah,
Hey,
knockoff Unity
hey,
mounts are actually really good for 20
no,
bucks.
don't believe it. Don't believe it. I will
I'm not-
say, if
They're
you
worth
buy
a shot,
some,
bro. For $20, they're worth a shot. If you
How?
don't have the money for the real one,
how I would,
are they that much worse than some things that actually come on the gun? 'Cause
bro.
some of the shit that comes on the gun is the same quality.
The level of
as the
complexity,
Amazon.
the level of complexity of that actual 2.26 Unity mount. I don't trust the Chinesium joints. I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't know,
And
bro.
I don't.
Like
I
for just
even,
the riser, like just the pick riser.
dude, I
don't
messed
know,
up.
bro.
I stripped my front sight installing it on the real Unity mount. So I don't know. Maybe I
take.
cross-threaded it.
Purchasing Glock clones is not it.
100% not it.
Unless I'm just kidding. I literally just got an alert for Ruger RXM first shots.
But doesn't RX hold on, wait. Doesn't RXM take a FCU?
So
it's not
that's
really
literally
a
what I
Glock
was gonna
clone.
say.
Not
Well,
a Glock clone. It may take Glock credits.
well,
It's not a Glock clone. It's not.
So he okay. So I agree, and that's why I literally purchased an RXM.
Well, the slide is 100% a Glock clone.
The
The mags
slide,
are, but the
barrel,
FCUs are.
mags.
Yeah.
But it does take internal Glock parts, some internal Glock parts in the FCU. But I was actually, I'll be real, and I agree with what you're saying, Dust. I'm just saying kind of the reason why I purchased it because, and actually my viewers purchased it for real because I was saying,
Shout out to your viewers.
thank you, appreciate that, man. They're awesome. Hot Dog 990, Drewski, Black Diamond Guns Gear, Josh, Kurt 24, all you guys contributed. Thank you, love y'all. And everyone else that contributed too. You guys are incredible. But what I was looking at was if it was just another Glock clone, I would not have purchased it. Right? I got more than enough Glocks. Don't need any more. But the idea that the fire control unit. Yeah, did I say build? Oh, my bad. I meant purchase.
You said you have a bunch, but there's a difference if you really want to talk about it when you are in control of your tolerances.
Yeah, it's
buying.
Yeah, very different, and it gives you much more freedom and capabilities and tweaking and all that. And I'd be tweaking. But so my hope with the RXM, and one of the reasons I wanted to get it, kind of see how much I could push it to its limits. I definitely have a question about longevity with the platform as it comes, as it sits from the factory. But the real beauty of this is this: to be able to take an FCU that is Glock compatible and throw it in anything in the future. It is completely unlimited. I've seen platforms that take FCUs similar to that size in AR lowers. I've seen them take, you could use it for any other size Glock depending on the lugs, locking block and all that. If it's 26, 19, 17, 17L, 34, whatever, other calibers. But also being able to do something like throw it in a sub gun or a little PDW type thing. Like the possibilities could be endless. Yeah, so that's really why I wanted to dip my toes into that. And if If it turns out that the slide and barrel and guts is trash, great. I'll just launch
Put a
that
Glock
thing off
slide.
and put it in another slide. Yeah, it's like whatever, it's all good. So I do like that. Yeah, I got it because it's a convertible, and I'm in my midlife crisis.
Convertibles are
Okay,
trash.
cool. The RXM is
They are.
the
Can we talk
best
about convertibles?
design that's come out for sure.
In the real life car world, convertibles are trash. When they go out, they cost more to fix than the car itself, no matter what year or state the car is in.
I agree, and they're dangerous. I got two hot takes that
Convertibles are
may
fun.
take the rest of this. I don't want all my windows down and my roof down all at the same time. I don't want that.
Convertible Corvettes are fun. I would never buy one, but
If it's a
fun.
pre-1969, yes, I'm all about that Stingray action.
It ain't gonna
Early
flip. It's just
90s.
gonna destroy anything in its path. The worst comes to worst.
Yeah, that thing is built out of freaking steel pots and pans. Okay, so Hellcat, we talked about how the Hellcat was terrible. Okay, pistol suppressors. So I have two hot takes that'll probably take the rest of the show. One, pistol suppressors are almost useless, but still fun. And I literally like
fun,
I have that
useless.
right here.
Unless you're like the guy that just wants to suppress.
Pistol suppressors are a range, toy, fun, or very niche, job specific.
Yeah, like
offensive.
assassinations.
Yeah, offensive. but
I mean,
okay.
or home defense. Home defense, you can't count it out.
Yeah, which that's why I said almost useless.
Yeah, almost.
Right, almost useless. So 98% of the stuff we think about or talk about or joke about with pistol cans, it's that okay. Throw them on a sub gun, awesome, great, love it. Right, take a 9mm can, throw it on your 300 blackout because you're too broke to buy a 30 cal can. Awesome to put subsonics through, love it. What's the best way to say this? I'll say it like this. Yeah, and that's what. So this is what I was thinking of, right? So like, if you were like in the field, actively being like, sought out by dudes with dogs, and you dropped your rifle, and nothing, and you had to hide in the brush like in Predator, and you didn't want to have to knife a dog and go into a street fight with a dog.
It's like the Call of Duty when you're running with the pistol and the big suppressor.
Yeah, right. And the knife.
Listen,
it'd be good to just go,
a pistol suppress unless you have a job and your job doesn't involve a group.
Schwacking people.
Fair enough, for a check or whatever reason. The reality of it, and this is my hot take, pistols are secondary.
So it depends on the
in that case, and when it comes to the suppressed situation, pistols are secondary. If you have to go to your pistol, you're not in a good situation. It doesn't matter if you're loud or not.
In most cases, yeah, I agree.
But unless on the civilian side, daily, I could see where people are like, "Oh, my pistol's my primary." You have the people who are like, "My pistol's my primary. That's with me every day. I have it everywhere I go." And then you have the people who are like, "Yeah, my pistol's to hold me off till I get to my rifle."
Yep. Or it may be that you find yourself in a situation where the one tool that you have on you, like 99.9% of the time, if you do, God forbid, end up in a situation, then it's more likely you're going to have to use that tool prior to getting to any other anyway. So it's almost like you're kind of stuck with it. This is why I always say that we have to become as extremely like highly skilled with our pistols as we possibly can be, because in most cases you may be going up against a dude with an AR, you may be going against whatever the situation may be, but
or it could be you're just time to go. You know what I'm saying? Most people will die anyway. I'm not saying I won't, but
someone's gonna pull out their Hellcat and be like,
"That's another reason." Yeah, I mean,
Someone
that's
said
another
pull up
reason
that
Turn 'em
why I think
backwards.
micro nines are stupid as shit for like checking the mailbox or something cool or like.
You know,
But
micro
overall,
nines.
if you're like, I'm wearing a gun today in case there's someone that runs in here with a long gun, I hope you have at least a full size gun. That I would feel better with a full size gun.
Well,
Than
I'm gonna
As in
be so
slingshots, slinging DK knives under knots.
that might be it.
Yeah.
So I
48's pretty big.
I don't know. I do believe in the go as big as a pistol you possibly can when you're fully clothed. If you're going to the beach, I'm like bust out the 43X.
Yeah.
You know, bust out, you know, the M&P shield, you know, bust out the macro, the 365, the XL, the smaller
I'm
ones.
tempted to weigh a
Borrow
macro loaded with
your
17
mom's
rounds
Hellcat.
and a
Don't
Glock
take the
19
Hellcat.
with 15 rounds and weigh them on a scale and see how much weight difference there is between a macro with a metal mag and 17 rounds and a Glock 19 with a plastic mag and 15 rounds. Because
I'm not carrying
they're
a
both.
I'm not carrying a Glock 19 to the beach.
Well, so a couple things.
I
There
would-
is metal in a Glock mag, so I mean,
Well,
we can't say it's only polymer.
Yeah,
you know,
but
but
they're definitely lighter than other mags. Like I have other mags and I
Yeah,
pick up
bro.
like
You're not. Hold on. And this is, I think you're overthinking the weight when you just have one pistol on you. You're going to the beach with the fam, like, or doing whatever. Like, it's just one.
I would wear a Glock
it-
19.
I'm just saying, like, you're overthinking. It's like, yo, bro, you don't have 90 pounds on you where it's just like, yo, I need to shed some of this weight. It's one.
Oh no, when I think about that, I'm like usually not wearing a belt and I'm wearing like a drawstring type shorts and I'm still wearing a holster that attaches
Yeah.
to that. And that's what I'm thinking about, like the amount of ounces and weight that it's gonna pull on my drawstring. That's
Hey.
literally the max amount of weight that I'm
What I do, let the beef.
but
hang
I'm
out.
taking it off when I get there. So it's more like, do I need this gun when I
Yep.
stop at the gas station or when I pop out real quick or the walk to the sand, which most likely it's already in a bag if I'm out in the sand because I'm not taking it out of my pants. You know what I mean?
I'll be real. I
Have you
went
shot a
to
gun after
Hmm?
the beach?
After the beach,
Have you actively or
sand and
anyone?
salt water all up in there.
Yo, just,
Yo,
it's not leaving me. It got sand in it. It has water in it, and then you're like, "Let me shoot this and see what it does." Have you done that?
I wouldn't do that.
It's
I'll
not
tell
going to
you.
happen.
I'll tell you straight up.
I wouldn't do it.
I went to the
Should.
beach
Should try.
and I was
No,
like,
I'm not doing my gun like that. No way.
I had this. Well, it
I go
depends what
into the
gun you're
water
talking about.
without a gun.
I would not carry $1,000 Spectre comp or whatever
I'm not
into
going
the beach.
swimming in the beach with a gun on me.
So I'll tell you a little
When I'm
tale.
sitting at the beach, there is a gun though in the bag. Like if someone starts shooting down there or over here, I'm definitely grabbing my bag.
Hey! Here, I'll tell you this though.
Get
I
to the
went to the
car.
beach in a place. We'll just say it's a place, and not too much info. So I went to a beach in a place where there's a beach, and I'm like old, becoming an older dad. All right. So I threw a dry fit shirt on and my swim trunks, and I
Dad
had a
moves.
the
little
tight dry fits, like
The
the
dry
Under
fits,
Armour.
yo, dry
real
fits
tight.
on the beach.
No,
Nothing
not like
screams.
the-
I am a fat more
Yeah.
than that.
Yes, of course.
And
But
in your head, you're like, "This looks good. I'm good. This is."
I
all right."
mean, it was comfy, but obviously my plan first was so I had a bag that locks, right? So I'm like, all right, when I get to the beach, I'm gonna take the gun out real slick like, and then I'm gonna, push it into the bag, zip it up, lock it, and leave it there. Of course, that anyone could walk away with just the whole damn bag, right? But usually we have like something set up to where everyone's always there, close to it, or responsible for the stuff, whatever. Anyway,
Somebody has to stay behind at all.
yeah. So, but if I go in the water, right, I got to take my shirt off, which would show I was carrying a Glock 42, which is a little micro 380 ACP, because I got to have at least something on me, And also had a pocket knife. I always carry a pocket knife, even if I'm in the swimming pool. I just have this fear that there's going to be my child or a child that's going to get like tangled up under something underwater and be like, blah, 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 I just go, I'll cut you free, whatever. I'm weird. All right. Anyway, so instead of
got the
taking my
ankle
gun,
fucking the ankle
yeah,
knife. We're going
you
in
know,
with a dry fit shirt.
straight up, like the things that clip to a
Some
surfboard.
Maui gym glasses, bro, and
Yo,
the
relax.
big,
Maui gyms
bucket
are
hat, the
fire.
big bucket hat too.
Maui gyms are fire. You got to slow that down.
With
Maui
some
gyms are
Mako
fire.
Monaco pizza.
They are fire. They are
They
fire.
are fire.
But here's what I
So
did.
are ankle knives, like the Bowie knife.
Definitely not
diving.
running the ankle, but I'll clip a ankle joint to my daughter and have her only be able to swim like
I
7 feet
might
away
just
from
start vibing out like that at the beach from now on, with like a big 8-inch blade on my calf.
Attach a stop box with a cable to a beach cart. Yo, drop it like it's Scott, brother. Good to see you. So I had to make the call, and I was like, all right, I either take out my gun, put it in my bag, zip it, lock the bag, which anyone could open with a pocket knife, or just take the whole bag and bounce, or I keep the shirt on like an old dad and go in the water like an old dad with my gun in my waistband like an old dad. So that's what I did. So the whole time we're all out, families out in the water, everyone's having fun, yay, splashing around and all that. And when you get in the water, right, and your shirt kind of goes up, I'm like, oh, let me make sure my gun's not showing before I walk out of the water. Anyway, dude, it was the worst idea ever. Of course,
Ever.
nothing happened. I didn't need not one of those bullets, and I had a secondary mag in the bag and all that too. Anyway, which I had in my pocket, but I put in the bag. And it was the worst cleaning job I had ever done.
Just about to say, and you're like, I just got in the
Terrible.
water. I didn't
Bro,
even
you might as well have
think
run
about
it under the sink and just
I may as well have poured
did that first. You
salt.
took a bottle of alcohol and just dumped it into the whole gun.
Dude,
amount
the
of
salt, salt, sand,
Pop
all
the
that,
pins, take all the parts out.
salt
oils.
becomes essentially sand
Yeah,
when it dries out.
exactly. Yep.
Maybe
And
worse than sand.
yeah, it was salt residue all over everything. It was, which that gun did also fire underwater very well too at another
Yo,
time.
can I give a hot take?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
a
I got
fire
some more
check?
too.
Don't get mad.
You swam
get
to
mad.
like a corner of the beach. It was like,
No, no,
boom,
not
hot
at
take.
sea.
boom.
Your PSA is not just as good
As what?
Yeah, just
as
good work.
nothing.
That's not
Yeah,
true. It's
as
better
good.
than some things.
I would say it's better than some things. Yeah,
Yeah, it's better
it's
than Bear
Bear
Creek.
Creek Arsenal. Yeah, I'm sorry, BCA. I'm sorry, y'all
Yo,
are the
no,
homies.
it
But
is-
man,
Yo, Bear Creek, I've
I like
opened
Bear
up
Creek though.
4 different boxes at 4 separate times of Bear Creek Arsenal, and every single time I seen metal shavings on the inside. I was just like,
that's it.
you see? No, no. I opened it, I looked, and I was like, metal shavings. That's crazy. I didn't even inspect. I was just like, yo,
I mean,
there's
I know
nothing
quite a
else you
few
need to
dudes
keep.
that run Bear Creeks and they're running them too. Like
When
they're
you
doing
mill things,
classes
hold
with
on, wait.
them, they're-
When you mill things, it's wet.
Mm-hmm.
Hear what I'm saying?
You have to
As
run
you're
water with
milling,
fuels.
there's
Coolant.
coolant, you
Yeah.
know, or oil, whatever, keeping the bit dry. And it drops it down, and then generally when they're done, they're like, dip it or throw it in a hot tank or something like that. That means these dudes aren't even doing that.
It's
Milling it dry.
cutting oil. That's
Cutting oil. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're milling it dry, assembling it, and they go, here you go. Crazy.
Yeah, the only time I have ever seen, or well, to be fair, heard of gas ports being drilled on the wrong side of the barrel was with a BCA, a Bear Creek Arsenal. So yeah, literally
I think you're gonna
taking
know pretty quick though that one's not gonna work.
they did not use those barrels. Shout out to Safety Harbor. They did not use those barrels. But another hot take.
You can build a cheap gun though that's decent. I don't know if that's
sure.
a hot take. Might be a hot take to some people. You can for sure go on Primary Arms and order a CAC barrel for cheap.
Hold on, wait.
You can get an upper receiver from somewhere.
Upper receivers don't count.
Well, I mean,
Upper
I would
receivers
still
don't
put
I
a
think
good
he's
bolt
talking
in
like
it.
a strip.
You
upper.
can
Yeah,
build a
stripped
gun.
uppers don't count. They're like, in my eyes, a strip like upper, just the upper without the barrel, like I run
They
whatever you
matter
want.
though. Yeah, I know, but there is
Unless it's
quality differences in that shit too.
there's quality differences in everything, but I can assure you that does
Interesting.
not matter. That matters
Interesting.
way
Thank you.
less than you think.
The one thing that would matter is just if the barrel has over insertion in the feed lips and there's not like a
Hashtag Saber.
big different
Yo,
differential
Hashtag
there.
Saber.
Don't get me started on the Saber. I've already given my hot takes on the Saber, and due knowledge, I 100% agree. I've only said very vaguely a couple times that I do not support PSA at all anymore. It is not about their brand. It's not about their quality. It's not about their
About their
price.
decisions and things that they do.
And
you-
companies and lives
Yo.
that they've destroyed, and I'll just stop it right there.
That's
So
great. Was this a new thing that you found out? Or is this something
no,
that's been ongoing?
I've been screaming this
You've been
for a
talking
minute.
about it for a long time.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. I missed that
And
part.
but
Cool.
I do want to say this. I agree with Red Dawn on the fact that you can build an AR if you're building an AR or assembling an AR from
very cheap.
more economic parts. You can still build a very good rifle. But I'm going to
Yeah.
go to another hot take real quick because I've done it before many times. I'm going to go to another hot take that most people do not run their rifles enough to even know their own limits of their gun or push it to a point where it fails at all.
I mean, you'll just have a better chance at there not being something wrong doing it that way as well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I know guys who've ordered Bear Creek, who've ordered PSA, and they have showed up with issues, and they've had to send it back, and they've had to call. You know what I mean? But I think if you built a gun yourself, you're more likely to not have that issue right away. The way that you could just have something show up to your house that is already built with issues.
In fact, I
It'd
would
be one of
trust Joe Morris.
Two things that will happen. Well, like three things. Your trigger is
Yeah.
all wrong.
Joe, for real.
Your I don't even know, your bolt lockup where you use a gauge and
Go or no go.
go or no go, and your gassing.
You talking about like head spacing?
Head spacing, sorry. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I don't even know why.
No, you're good.
Head spacing will be you built your own AR, and on that first round, it's bad.
Yep.
Gassing. That's when yo, bro, I went to a whole event. I stripped down my AR. I put it back together, and the one thing I didn't do was test, and it bit me in the ass. And I got to an event in Tennessee. I cracked off a round, and I was hyping. I was like, yo, it's shooting so soft. And I went to crack off another round, and nothing happened.
Click.
Because it never ejected. Because my gas block was off center, choking it up, and it made it shoot super soft. It was amazing, but it didn't cycle. And you know what I did with that rifle after that? I threw it. I was so mad. I was like,
dude, I'll throw another hot take out there. People don't know what ejection patterns mean and the importance of them.
This is true.
People be like, oh, my so-and-so is overgassed. My so-and-so is under gas. My this rifle's overgassed, under gas is just right. And most of them don't know what, they just hear things about, oh, Geisley's are overgassed. So they get a rifle. It could be
fences are overgassed.
It whatever they hear. It's
my Geisley ejects
on
perfectly at 3 o'clock, like fucking clockwork.
And some people could have it ejecting at 1 o'clock and be like, "Oh."
Now, when I ran my suppressor, I did have it.
True.
I had an issue with my bolt catch, and when I ran mine suppressed, I wasn't getting a bolt lock back. And I did a couple times as I ran it throughout the day.
But that was an issue with the lower, right?
I think it was an issue with the lower.
It could also be ammo.
It could be ammo also. I just got to keep running it to find out.
What ammo were you running?
PMC X-Tac.
The 55 or 62?
A mix.
Oh, you're one of those. You don't separate your ammo. You're just like,
no. They were separated, but I was running both throughout the day.
55 grain, 223.
I don't even like. I don't
7
even
grain,
like.
556.
40 grain
I don't
farming.
do that.
Yeah,
The
yeah, bro.
223.
Hit him
You
with
should-
the
I don't
salad.
do that shit.
Hit him with the
should, like,
salad.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Knowledge. I run a Geisley Super Duty, boy. I ain't
Well,
affording no
hold
more.
on. Hot take. If it doesn't have a Geisley lower, it's not a Geisley.
That's not
I'm just
true.
playing. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
When
I
I
knew
hit
you were gonna
purchase,
get
that
hot.
shit said Geisley Super Duty, and I
Fair
said,
enough.
thank you.
I know,
Everybody
I
thinks
just-
my setup is a Geisley, and I'm like, it's just a Geisley rail, bud.
Yeah,
Their rails are
Yeah.
fire.
dude. Both of my Geisleys are
Q4 himself now
100%
runs it?
Geisleys.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a
didn't
mud.
convert. I just made an investment, bro. It's
What do they
about
call them in
having
Harry
the
Potter?
money.
Muggles?
Muggles.
Yeah.
Humans?
You see my setup and you're like, oh, that's a Geisley, bro. It's like, nah, it's a half breed. That shit is
dude. Hey,
it's
but
not a Geisley dog. It's just a Geisley rail.
tell
Thank
me
you,
that
dude.
they do not make excellent rails, and the way it locks into their upper, and if
They
you're running lambs, and
They make amazing rails.
now
That's Geisley triggers and rails make Geisley. Go ahead. Tell me. Go, say,
no,
say
I
it.
can't. I can't. I can't.
Say it. Say it. I seen the face.
I
Say
What was he
it.
can't.
gonna
Hot
say?
take, right? Say it. It's hot
I
takes,
can't.
right? Let's do
No,
it. Let's
no,
talk about it.
I like
Let's
it.
do it.
SLR rails
do it.
though are fire.
No,
Have
wait,
you ever?
Red Dawn, you don't know what he's about to say. I do, and I
No,
need him
no.
to say it.
Have you
right
ever?
now. Hot
Have
takes.
you ever signed documents that say like that you
Yeah,
won't release
3 letters.
information?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
We'll leave it
yeah.
at that.
But just know, I would never run up. And then you're like,
I did not do down. I did not.
what?
Got an aim
But-
point acro on there.
You know, anyway, sorry. So moving along.
I don't run one of those.
Oh, here you go. Here, I got a hot take. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if y'all ready for this. Oh, this is gonna be a
Y'all ready for that?
gun tube is eating itself and will disappear within a matter of years.
Agreed.
Well, YouTube and guns might
No,
disappear
guns-
in a matter of years.
Yeah, but
Agreed.
YouTube still makes cake off of gun tubers. I just think that the community is eating itself. Like, look, us
Yeah,
three,
It does. It does.
It's
we're friends, and we can barely agree on a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean?
and I'm gonna tell you why what it is. I'm gonna tell you why what it is.
Worldly BS, self.
It's on top of an LPVO, dude.
No, no, yo, listen, I people could say how they want. It's because, and no disrespect to anybody, and I've seen this on several other channels with several other content creators. Motherfuckers come into this space and they didn't have experience before. It wasn't a, yo, maybe I should take what I'm already doing and document it, right? And move forward. People will come in, get their following, know a few things, and take off with it.
Yep.
And put out bad information
Terrible information.
constantly.
People that didn't start shooting
Constantly.
until 2022 are like,
Constant.
well, actually, the best thing to do is to. I'm like, yo,
It is
what?
so bad. It is so, and I'm not saying I know everything. I don't know
Nope.
everything.
Nope.
I've learned a lot. I have a good. I'm not gonna. I have an amazing support team.
I am
right?
on a quest
And
to
it's-
learn every day with the heart of a student. That is what I would wish everyone would think like, but instead they come into an industry or something, usually with money, and they think that they can buy their way to a particular level of experience or skill, and that is untrue.
Absolutely. Yo, literally, if I don't
Well,
know
you can
something-
invest your way into it. You can't buy it, but you can invest your way into it with
No,
time,
no,
and
you
training
can't. You can't
courses,
invest
and
it.
data and work. And I'm saying not money and like, well, money is part of that investment, but you
No,
have to
time.
invest the effort into becoming
time.
good. With
You have to
shit.
put in the time. You have to put in the time.
The
Listen,
most valuable
there's
commodity in the
shit
world.
that I don't know.
SLR's
that I
great.
don't know, and I'm wondering. And yo, I literally feel blessed because I have, like, if I don't know something, the person I call, I have my peers, right? I have my peers like you guys, my guys, whatever, and then I have the data I collect on my own, and then I have I I call them the elders.
The village elders.
Yo, bro, the elders. That's what I call them, the elders.
Yeah.
That at 1 in the morning, 7 in the morning, whatever time, I can call them, and all of them are 50 plus who've been in the game 20, 25 years plus. I can ask a question and they're giving me answers. Or I ask them a question and then they ask me a question and they're like, sit and think about it and call me in 2 days and tell me what you come up with. And they challenge my brain.
That's usually when you ask a question and you're looking for an answer, and the person that you're seeking that information from asks you like 7 follow-up questions. That's how you know usually that you're getting good information.
Yo, and they're like, yo, don't call me tomorrow. Call me in 48 hours and tell me what you got. Yo, that's funny. Yo, that's funny. The elders are in here. A couple of the elders are in here out of like 7. They're in here.
Just mentioned you, yeah.
All right, let's do some like really hot takes though.
Yeah,
Graham is
like
on
some FUD hot takes, like drop leg holsters need to go
Trash.
get thrown in the trash.
all of them.
All of them.
I'll add this if I
your
may.
holster at your kneecap is trash, dog.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, and Red Dawn and I were talking about this, and I do have a bunch more, but let's talk. We mentioned Safariland. Safariland is, in my opinion, one of the best holster, like duty grade, or we'll call it civilian field grade holsters, but like on the planet currently. Okay, I do think they're too expensive. I only buy them secondhand on eBay. Fight me, and they're excellent, right?
What's the one company? Midway USA has good sales on them.
Yeah, I have seen them there for like 130 or something like that.
Great,
bro.
sales.
I bought a brand new in the box. Not the 6390, the 6354 for 149, wrapped in multicam with FDE, and the FDE QLS fork. I was like,
I
bro,
got the mod button coming. I ordered the wrong mod button for mine. The button on there is not the mod button. What is it called? I think it is called a mod button. It's Safariland.
It's the nub.
The nub.
Yeah.
But I've run it on my boys. The nub is nice. It's nice.
Yeah. So my only concern with the nub is that it gives more surface area if someone were to try to take your pistol from you. It's more noticeable.
Well, I have a hood also, so like they would have to still press my hood down. And
I want to show you. I want to show you a fight. I want to show you a fight of a guy, and a police officer, where the only thing that did not release on his Safariland level 3 holster, his hood was pushed down all the way. And the dude was fighting so hard that he literally pulled his pants up to a dude's armpits for this gun. Like, he tried everything. Dude, it was insane. Honestly, we could probably pull it up tonight. But he actually ended up, just in the struggle, getting the SLS hood down. And the only thing that stopped him was the ALS. I could not believe. And then his boy rolled up on him at the McDonald's in Fairfax, Virginia, by the way, and fired 17 or 18 rounds with his fellow officer in the line of fire. And every round either didn't strike his buddy or struck the bad guy. Jeez. Crazy. But here's my hot take. My hot take is Safariland holsters, because we were talking about finding another solution, wearing Safariland on body without having to throw an entire freaking pistol belt on, right?
I think if you were outside the waistband, you should run something. If you're an everyday carrier of outside the waistband, you should run something with more retention than level 1.
Of course.
Something.
100%. What I'm saying is that Safariland holsters, outside of the use of a pistol belt, I don't personally think that it is functional with a regular gun belt with jeans for an OWB purpose.
I do.
I just
100%
tried
agree.
tech lock. I tried the short
Uh,
drop. I tried the direct belt. I tried every. You can move
My
your
boy
holster
who
up all the way. All that. It's. I've tried at
I
least
don't
what
know.
I have.
My boy who's a officer who works at our gun store runs one with a paddle.
he runs outside the waistband.
Out when he's working at the gun store. Paddle, Safari Land holster, just it doesn't even have the hood, just the button.
Mhm.
And no light. It's not a light bearing holster, so he runs that and he gets I've watched him get it out plenty times and that holster
I
don't
agree
move
with
on me.
sports. I agree with sports brand.
Hot take. FRTs are cooler than binary triggers. Facts. I got
I also
FRT.
believe
Facts.
Well, binary's the only other one, but yeah.
It
I
don't move on
also
him. Maybe he's got his
I got
belt
a hot
so
take for you.
tight.
I also
I
got
don't
a
know.
hot take for you, and people might be mad at me for this, but I don't care. Uh, everyday carrying EDC outside the waistband. I think you're a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Agreed.
you're a fool.
But I also hate that we live in
I
an
don't think you're a
environment.
fool. I think you're a FUD. I think that's older school, buddy stuff. Like they didn't
Nope.
live in the same world where
Nope.
it was okay 20 years ago to cover it with a little top shirt. I think that it's just oldie stuff. Like,
Honestly, I
I
hate that
mean,
we live in an environment
That's
where
spicy.
it's a
That's
weird thing. You know what I'm saying? Where like, oh, he's got a gun. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that
shit, I know guys that
it's
shoulder
not a thing.
holster EDC with a fucking
That
leather
I
fucking
mean,
vest
that was
over
a
that
trend.
bitch.
That was a
bro,
trend. Hold on, wait. That is
I still
that was a
rock them.
trend. That is the that is a trend. Also, it has its place. So
Yeah.
if you're a suit type of guy,
Mm-hmm.
I think
that
it's better to
is
carry outside the waistband than not carrying an extra mag. I think if you're carrying a gun, you could definitely put an extra mag somewhere. That's just how I feel about it.
I feel that if you carry the over the shoulder situation with a suit, makes sense. With it, I think it's rather classy.
It
I
is.
think it makes sense. I
But
think
if your jacket is super tailored, that joint is gonna poke a little bit right under your armpit.
yeah, well, depending on what you're carrying, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Depending
But I will
if you're
say,
carrying a 1911 full size fucking
even
shaft,
I
shit
got
is
three shoulder holsters. I love them. The Galco Miami Classic is the
Galcos are
best
sick.
shoulder holster out there. Um, the I in my opinion, the biggest benefit of the shoulder holster, first off, you can carry a Glock and two magazines and have nothing on your belt. Like that is just remarkable. It completely opens up all of your belt to where all of it is dead space until you want to put something else. You could run a second gun in your waistband if you wanted to. You can run more magazines. You could run an AR mag. You can run like if you're. But there's other stuff too. There's other benefits too. You could run a 33 round stick mag in that thing, and people are still not going to see it as long as it's the horizontal one. Galco is getting better because they got the vertical holsters now that even with leather, you can run with a light and a red dot. What? Fire. Love it. And it's the slowest draw in the world. And it's great for driving. And it's because when you sit down, it just brings it closer to your it's like
body.
an ankle rig, right? Like when you're walking around with a gun on your ankle, it's completely it's just not convenient. When you sit down, all of a sudden your ankle is a quick little swoop
Mhm.
right away from your like if you're in the car or something.
Yeah,
Um
cup holder carry is also a good option for me.
that's a good option as long as you're not getting pulled over. Yeah.
Yep, and if you are, you better know what to do.
Quickly.
Yep.
Without
Michael Kuhn, I absolutely understand what you're saying. The older guys have a plethora of knowledge, right? And then when you find the older guys that don't, you're like, you're an idiot. How did you even get this far? And that's in all aspects. I'm not just talking about that. That's on the mechanical side. That's also on the gun side and everything else. But I have
a
talked to
lot
older dudes. I look at them. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're
lot
over
of
here
times
talking
it's
about you've been cheating
ego.
for 30 years and you bought your wife a Sky because it's
You know,
fine. You don't love your
bro,
wife.
I put 75,000 rounds through my Keltec P3AT today. Those kind of dudes.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
yo, I thought you was going somewhere. I was like, yo, for real?
Did
That's
you
crazy.
actually?
I was like,
Bro,
yo, that's nuts.
no, it's those dudes that are like, yo, I got a BCA and I got 152 million rounds through it.
Yo, I will never forget when I first started. When I first started my channel, well, actually, when we first started the Turkish channel, there's some dude that came on and said he had 80,000 rounds through his Ruger AR, and it's still accurate and it shoots fine. And we
Let
all
me
were
see it.
like, "You're lying. Send pictures, please. Like,
Hmm.
send pictures of your barrel or send pictures of you shooting. We want to see it." That was the first and last time. Until this day, I want to see this dude. I want to hear from him. I want to
He's
see him.
never come back on. I remember that
He's
day.
Yo, bro. You were there. Were you there?
I was in the chat.
Yeah, bro.
I
I
think
will
he said
never.
like 70,000 rounds or so. You had
So
said something
crazy.
like the Ruger SR556
Yeah,
is not it for the price or something like that. And he was like, "Bro, I got 300 million rounds through
yeah,
it
yo,
at
bro. And we
lunch."
just like, that's a lot.
Yeah, show it. Show
You
it.
can have that many rounds. Is it accurate?
Bro.
Is it still functioning? Because those Ruger ARs, hot take, Ruger ARs, trash. As far, different story.
I'm not big on the Ruger ARs. I'm not big on
No, they're
most
not.
Ruger things.
Their BCGs are junk. You
Yeah, I don't
literally,
know.
you don't have to. They don't have to. They're not supposed to be oiled. They're supposed to be drowning in oil because it will lock up. And I've seen it time after time after time after time, different
Mm.
places. Gross.
Yeah, I don't have enough personal experience
Oh,
with
I got another hot
firearms.
take. Steel case is fine through your AR.
Yeah, I mean, I don't run it. I only run it through my AKs and my SIG SBR that's made for steel case. But yeah, you can run it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I
Actually, may I add something?
Go ahead.
You can run it if you don't have a trash gun that will actually consistently dimple
Agreed.
those hard primers.
Agreed.
Because you got some hard primers on those things.
Yeah. Agreed. And the ejecting
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
getting stuck in, your it has to
Oh,
snatch it out. It has to
especially
be
if
able to.
you're. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like when they expand, what normally happens is it
Yep.
gets stuck in the barrel,
Yep.
and your bolt has to be on point. Your
Have
bolt
a
has to be
cleaning
on.
rod close by,
Yes,
because
because
yeah, if you're using the trash with like the zinc coating, I mean, unfortunately nowadays we don't have that issue as much because you can't find any of the trash zinc coated, lacquer painted, nasty stuff that we used to run for $4 and some change a
With
box.
the green wolf lacquer coated.
Green
I
lacquer,
have
or
shit ton of it.
they used to have this stuff called Silver Bear, which was steel casing, but it had like this powder zinc coating all over it. Bro, run 10 rounds, it's getting stuck every 3 rounds in the barrel.
I also have a hot take. A lot of the brass that you guys are buying isn't brass.
Is it are you referring to the copper coated steel?
And people are like, "Oh, it's brass," and then it's just like, and you know where I learned that? Believe it or not, I learned that at MD Arsenal, cleaning up the range.
With a
Because yes,
magnet?
I'll say it. I'll say it proudly. I don't care. I clean up the range when I'm there,
I cleaned
whether
up the
I'm
range.
using it or after I'm done with it, or even if it just needs to be done. I will sweep that whole range, collect brass, separate it, put it in a bucket. I have no problem doing that. And I learned that by running the magnet and hear it click, 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 click. And when you go to the side and pull the lever up to let the magnet go, and you just look and you're like, I thought all of that was brass,
Yeah.
including shotgun shells. 5.56, 9, everything, and you're like, yo, I thought that was brass. That's
It
not.
is usually okay for like for an AR for most guns to run the brass coated steel case stuff. Actually, Wolf was the first company I had ever seen do that, and I think they got the idea from the old copper washed Chinese AK ammo. They used to make this armor piercing 7.62 by 39 ammo, which I got a couple mags of that, and it's a steel core 7.62 by 39, and they would do a copper wash over the whole thing. And I think that's where they got it. I got a hot take. Did you have one you wanted to share, Red Dawn?
Easy, nice.
100 Concepts is way overpriced.
Yes, agreed.
It's good stuff though. It's good stuff. It's just way overpriced.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that, Dust?
No, I'm thinking about what there's a lot of stuff that's overpriced that
So my opinion is, and this is coming from an AK owner. I own multiple AKs in 7.62 by 39 and 5.56, and I and you know we talk about like people that have only been in the game for a couple of years that are thinking they're the authority on the information. Not to say that they're not. If they're doing all of this all the time, only full time, and they I can learn anything from anyone. I'll say that, but unless you were
you
in the
can learn
game,
something from anyone.
yes, even if it's what not to do. But in most cases, in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, if you weren't in the game when AKs were cheaper than ARs, I don't know. But no, my hot take is AKs, all literal AKs, every single AK on the market right now is drastically overpriced, and no one should pay for them. Anything on the market after like 27.
I've heard the best AK to get right now, if you can't get the Russian, is basically the full size Draco. It's probably the best.
Jim
AK
Fuller. Jim Fuller's AK.
Yeah,
but how much is he
Because
charging for an AK?
Well,
3.5 stack. If you
that's
probably
wild.
more.
Probably more.
And this is why I say that, and it kind of goes against what DLD's saying, but it combats what you're saying, right? Like it combats what both you guys saying. So like, yes, I do agree with DLD. Like I think that if you're getting a Draco, you should be paying like $400 for that thing. I don't care.
yeah, it
But
should be.
the reality of it is that outside of Mark Krebs and Jim Fuller, no one has the R&D in these AKs like these dudes.
I
No
agree.
one. So if you're gonna get a quote unquote quality AK that runs and runs,
Yeah.
you might as well go with the guys who were. And if you talk to them, right? If you talk to them, they will tell you, hey, at one point when I would go to buy AKs, I was getting looked at crazy. Or if I brought my AK into a shop,
Mm-hmm.
they were looking at me crazy. And
You were the poor guy. If you were running AKs,
or you're the communist supporter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're the communist. Get out my store. Like you're supporting the other side, and they had to deal with that.
Also,
go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh no, I was just gonna say real quick. Also, aftermarket support for things like optics and handguards and all that, it barely existed. Midwest was the first U.S. company to which, by the way, they use a lot of stuff that's not made in the U.S., but they were the first company that started doing like QD stuff. Like you could actually buy domestically stuff that was created overseas for the AK, because otherwise you weren't running a red dot on your stuff. You weren't running, rails on your stuff. You weren't running, side folders and all this other stuff. It just didn't exist at that time. There wasn't the support of the demand for it.
I mean, and the AK guys, there is a market. Yo, bro, there's a whole society of the AK guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand what it is about and even though I do own a few of the snazzy boogaloo shirts, button ups, I don't understand the mustaches. It's crazy. Like they just got
There's
like handlebar mustaches and boo shirts and
there is like I've never seen dudes flip out more for like the most tiny insignificant things. Like if I picked up an AR right now and took out the magazine and showed it to you, it'd be like, ah, cool, it's an AR mag, whatever, no big deal. If I took out my Draco and pulled out the Plum 30 rounder, dudes would be like, yo, you have a Circle 10 Plum 30 rounder? Stop playing. Those things are $350. Oh, and don't let me stop there. I got the Circle 10 Plum 40 rounder, and I got the Circle 10 Plum 10 rounder as well. You just don't see it with the Plum furniture on that joint too. You just don't see it. They're super rare. They were only imported back in the day, and then Arsenal wants to start importing them. I'm like, get that shit out of here. It's not real. It's fake.
they have an arsenal, MD arsenal that's in there, and the only reason that thing is in there because it's a 5.45.
Bro,
Any other caliber would be gone.
10 years ago, that thing would have been gone.
And
Back
it
when
might
you
go
could
back
actually
up.
buy ammo.
It might go back up. Don't
Yeah.
be surprised. Think about it. Don't be surprised that things that were up 10 years ago that are down, they might.
Depending on what some companies do with ammunition manufacturing.
Yeah. Like it might like so a 5.45, if an American company decides they're going to produce 5.45 their way, it might become a thing because remember, Dark, people were on 5.45 like it was the shit.
Oh yeah, my boys got
You know what I'm
pallets,
saying? Like people were on
pallets.
5.45 like it was the end all be all.
Yeah. I mean, for a minute, it was $110 for 1,080 rounds or whatever it is. Like, bro, it was you could barely give it away.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Just hit me. Guys, check if you have an Academy Sports around you anywhere, go check. They have Monarch ammo,
I've
NATO
been
9
buying it
mil,
for 2 years.
100 rounds for $20.
They have 250
Oh.
rounds for $59.99.
Of what? Is steel case?
Nope. They have steel case and brass. They're both the same price. So whatever you get when the
Yeah.
shipment shows
So,
up, they're
There you
both
go.
the same
Like
price.
there you go.
I run the
they
steel case out of my not MP5, my KP9 because it fucking eats steel like no tomorrow. But I've been buying that shit for 2 years.
I'm not
spend
saying it's
60
any
bucks.
good or whatever. And they have 5.56 that
I
for
think they
storage.
stopped doing their military discount, but they sometimes have them on sale for $49.99 for 250 rounds. I haven't had one malfunction out of that shit in 2 years. And with the military discount, my boy was getting it for like $47 or something, or
So
$45.
they also have 5.56. Yes,
124
they have
grains.
NATO 124s. Correct. NATO 124s.
Nice.
Monarch, Brazil,
Monarch.
made in Brazil.
It is MagTech reloads essentially.
MagTech is great. Great
It's
stuff.
MagTech reloads. There was a whole situation with that company that started off here. It went to there. It started off there. We got beef with them. It went to there. We got beef with them, and it went to there. And it's still the government's crazy. Anyway, it's
Let
a
me
wild situation.
let me make one adjustment to what I said. MagTech is great ammo to blow off at the range without caring
Yes.
or worrying about malfunctions. Anything beyond that, I would not. Now,
Yeah.
when you're loading like an ass load of magazines for SHTF or when the shenanigans hit the
No.
fanigans, yeah, I'll load up some FMJ stuff if I'm just like whatever. Sometimes you may need to defeat a barrier. Sometimes you may need to hit a liquid medium target like flesh. Sometimes I get it, so it's not a bad idea to have that. But for the most part,
I'm just saying to blow off rounds because I blow off
Yeah.
rounds, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the chat like to shoot and don't want to shoot their good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an option. And they make 5.56, which I have not tried. They're 5.56. If It's crazy. It comes in a storage bag, a rubber
Nice.
waterproof sealed. The bag looks sick. Like it's
I
literally
love
something like
those. I have those too,
That's
and
what's up.
I love them.
it's sealed.
I slide it in my pack for like my emergency go bag. I have that shit. It's nice and flat.
It is
And
flat. Yeah.
those are hard to find in stock though. Those are hard as
Really?
shit to find in stock, but I love those.
You need some?
Yeah, at least where I'm at.
We
Yeah,
don't
Buy
have
some.
any out here. We don't have any out here. I'd grab
I'll
some of
buy.
those.
I would like 2 of them if possible.
Well,
Let me know when you're going, and we'll.
I can go tomorrow. I know I got to meet up with DLD because I'm tired of looking at this damn stock. And
Hey, holla at your boy. You mean Brace? You mean Brace?
nobody
Yeah.
see.
Um,
I'm tired of looking at this damn stock.
The range, Coda Boy is a friend of the channel. He's a good dude. So the range says, no, I've done a lot of really bad buys, but I missed that IO. I saw Brandon's video from the range day years ago. Brandon Herrera also came on the channel back in the day. He's a good dude. Nothing worked. Dude, in my humble opinion, that is worth as much as you allow it to be, IO, INC, AKs are almost always terribly made. Sorry. I
Can I
personally
do a shameless plug?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I want to take the time to say shout out to Fat Tack Holsters for looking out for the big boy community. If you have a little extra fluff and you don't want to deal with the pinch because you appendix carry,
You know what?
that
Not
holster
only
is the way to go. I've been running this holster for a month and a half.
Woo.
Actually maybe
Sick.
more than that because it was
Fire.
it was
Love them.
by Shot Show. Outside of that, shout out Fat Tack Holsters. Listen, if DLD hasn't talked about it or Red Dawn hasn't talked about it, and if they did, now you have a third person co-signing it. Fat Tack Holsters for people who genuinely care about EDC and comfort of carrying.
You know
Fat
what?
Tack Holster is literally, he opened up a whole new market for the bigger gentlemen.
We'll do this, and even my skinny friends love it. But we'll run this real quick.
And yeah, I'm sorry, and I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I always neglect the skinny guys. I'm Joe Morris. You're asking me. I am 6'1", 6'2" if I get sleep, about 270. I'm a big boy by standard. I don't think I'm that big of a guy. I'm a big boy. That holster works. It even works for the skinny guys. Can you put up that holster one more time?
Yeah, I'm actually going to play this joint real quick. It'll show a bunch of them.
FatTack.com, in a sense, is a one-stop shop where you can find things for bigger guys. It's in our name, FatTack.com. We made this specifically for bigger guys that can't find quality products in their sizes. We made this popular by the Fat Tack holster, something you can wear lower in your pants if you have a gut. This by far is the most comfortable way to carry a gun while you're sitting down. Let's say you sit down for 12 hours a day. This thing right here is your best friend. On the site, we also pick up products that we believe is the best for the money, like Gideon Optics. Blue Alpha belts are on the site, something that we believe are literally the best belts in the game. You can find these things in unlimited sizes on FatTack.com. Doesn't matter what your waist is, we got you covered. We also have medical gear, prime armor, literally everything is on there, including apparel, hoodies, shirts, hats, everything you can think of, and including your favorite influencer that's showing you this right now. Go check out their stuff on FatTag.com.
I also want to add one other thing.
The truffle shuffle.
Do the truffle shuffle. I also want to add one other thing. I don't get anything from Fat Tack. They don't pay us anything. They don't give us anything. I mean, they did send me this holster, and they did send me this other holster. They
literally have everything that you could want, though.
Yeah,
they got night vision, plates, plate carriers, blue alpha gear belts,
rigs, all that stuff.
I don't know if they have the slings too. They might have the blue alpha gear slings.
You know, if people don't know, I own a company. It's called Definition Knives, where we have a bunch of super sick, super dope knives.
And next to my bed.
We
Mine's next to my bed too. I've been wearing it all day.
We are working on launch 2 right now, which has a bunch of crazy dope. Everyone was asking for flippers that are liner locks and frame locks. So those are on the way. We're literally working on them right now, but China is being China. So, there's that. We got 5 knives that came out with launch 1. The new boxes are going to be here tomorrow. Ayo! I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. We've been waiting since October for these things. They're incredible. No, they don't have a dick in them. And I showed these to everyone earlier, but because everyone kept like flicking them out because they have the cross bolt style, people call it the axis lock style. People kind of trying to get used to it, kind of fumbling with it. They end up cutting themselves. So because of that, we wanted to include stickers that are like your first Band-Aid getting
You
definition
should
knives.
actually put a Band-Aid in there.
You know what? That's
Because
not a bad idea.
I flipped that thing and held on to the roller lock and it flew back down.
And it
And I was
flew.
like, ow, I hit my finger. And then I was like, damn, that feels funny. And I looked and I'm like, oh, wow, look at all this blood
I'm
coming out
leaking.
my finger from this light
Yeah.
tap from this knife that split me open.
They are sharp. They do come sharp. We also, after all of launch 1, we have one warranty claim. One. And that was Kurt 24. His
Dude.
pocket clip broke on his co-pilot. You got one too?
Yeah, my wife
What?
stole
Oh,
it.
your wife stole it. Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
she did my laundry and she found it in the couch or did my, she's like, find like a finders keepers type of deal. And I was like, wait a minute, that has been confiscated, but I'm not worried about it.
We do say law enforcement though, but I'll see what I could do. I'll see
She's
what I
close
can do.
to it. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying? No worries. No worries.
bro.
I'm not
Wait until you see what launch 2 is talking about. You know what I'm saying? With the denim G10, with the super unique blade that's like a Tonto drop point, and it's a flipper that's a liner lock on that joint, and the back is the spacer is G10. So like if we got this other one that's orange, right? So it's the same one right there. The spacer is orange G10. Dude, they're so fire, and it's a very unique blade shape. We got the Fat Boys coming out with G10 and carbon fiber.
Those are dope too.
Together with the Warncliffe blade. Woo! And they're a frame lock, so they're super solid. A whole bunch. And for those that love the co-pilot but want something a little smaller.
That's that dress, boy.
Yeah. Say it again. Dropship. We're just starting to get into drop shipping.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah. Hit me up. We also are doing our first like totally custom knife from the ground up, and we're doing a serialized batch of only 500 of them. It's the same thing with the carbon fiber and G10, and then we machine the carbon fiber out of it to make like a super tacky traction. And look at the blade. It's a harpoon blade on that joint. Dude, these are going to be so fire.
I got an idea.
Excuse me. They're going to be serialized 1 to 500 on them too. I'm pumped. They're going to be super cool.
I'm pumped for you.
Me too. I can't wait to get some of them joints.
Who called me?
I'll add some different ones to my rotation.
Yeah, man. These are, bro.
That's
you know
the problem.
what?
I don't like to switch things out. Once I'm comfortable with something, I'm comfortable with
that mini co-pilot though. I can't lie. The mini co-pilot is like
calling your name.
Elegant. Yeah, it's coming. That is too though. That's fire.
The black blade, fat little bro. Look how thick that joint is.
Yeah, that thing's fire.
Yo,
I like that a lot.
Dust, you ready for this? You know me. You know how I get down. One word. Well, it's actually 2 words. The Trauma Hawk.
Say less, dog. That's all I needed to hear.
You already know.
That's
the
all I needed.
Trauma Hawk. That actually was.
That's all I needed to hear.
fixed blades are
Especially
coming.
if it could be more. I'm not going to talk about it.
We'll talk offline. I think.
Yeah, hold on, wait. I'm just gonna.
I'm thinking of two. One that's like the big work joint, and one that's the little hiya. Just wait.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Sick.
So there's
Yeah.
revisit
And
this conversation tomorrow.
I'm talking like thick boy, you know. Yeah, a bunch of cool stuff. We're doing that. Yeah, fixed blades, man. We yes, the trauma hawk. Fixed blades, I'm gonna be real. I will never put out trash. And not that what I've seen so far from the manufacturer we're dealing with now for the folders, they have been excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, people
Dude,
like that a lot.
They do. And once you like get it in your hand
People
and you
like
feel
them
it and you
a lot.
open it, it's like, ooh. Like I had Craig just sent me a message the other day, and he was like, "Bro, I love the spring assist." Yo, it's not spring assisted. It's a manual folder. It
Yo,
feels
listen.
like it because it's so smooth, but it's because we're using copper discs and steel ball bearings, so it's crazy smooth when you open it.
Yo,
Balls
there's
of
nothing
steel,
more
baby.
dope. There's nothing more dope. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because I need to go to bed. I got things to do tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I gotta get off soon.
There's nothing more dope than being able. All right, there's product knowledge, right? And then there's like, yo, I know where this shit came from. Like, and then there's
Yeah.
like another level, and it's like, yo, and explaining each and every knife to a customer, right?
Mhm.
And then being able to put a name behind each and every knife and like put this in your hand, put this in your hand, put this in your hand, and put this in your hand.
That is
And they're
dope.
like,
Man.
man, like
A lot of thought went
that's
into this.
crazy. Yeah, a lot of, and that's the same. That is literally the same thing. And then they look at the box, and then they see your sister's box. Yo, it's
Your mom's box.
your mom's box. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They sell, bro. I've seen kids walk out the store with that.
Yeah, dude, you Joe, this is for
Yeah.
you. You mentioned that this is not a DK, but just know that if I get something, I don't just get it to get it. I may be getting it for some R&D, you know what I'm saying? And you want to talk about smooth.
When you're done R&D in that, let me know what I need to do to get it.
Oh yeah, no, I ain't going nowhere after that.
I know what I
Yeah.
want to R&D. Yeah.
I'm excited to shoot my first Night Force here soon. My boy just picked up that 2.5 by 20, and I'm excited to shoot his Night Force.
The eight tackers, the 1x8s, the 1x10s. You're just gonna. It's not even jumping over. It's literally just bypassing them.
He bypassed all of them for on his 308. He got that 2.5 by 20 today, and the peanut butter, the silver with the peanut butter caps.
Oh,
I can't wait to shoot it.
I don't know why he did a 3x20 when he should did a 5x25. He's nuts.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know. I like the way the 2x20 looks too. It's got that
I feel you, but
it's
like
fire.
super MVO look.
You got 308. You can stretch that out 13.
Bro,
No, he's got like an 18-inch barrel on that Joker too. That shit
with a 2x20, by 3x20, he cut himself short.
A little bit, yeah.
Bro, that makes my 1-6 look like a micro prism. That's not size wise. I'm just saying capabilities wise.
I can't wait to shoot it, bro. I can't
Dude,
wait to shoot it.
the Night Force is quite possibly one of the few top optics.
How much do you think you paid for it?
$3,600.
Oh no.
What? 5?
You got it for $1,850, boy.
What?
Brand new. Cash is
$1,850.
king.
Dang.
Cash is king, and people ain't buying shit.
No one wants to listen to me. Everybody wants to fucking do all this weird shit.
What do you mean?
He said Dust is right. You can always bring it in, but that's on the LPVO. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the LPV, the
2.5 by 20, dude.
F Night Force.
Schmitten Brothers.
Hales, and Zeiss.
Zeiss is fire. Zeiss is
And
fire.
then Burris, hold on. Burris, give me 1 second. I'm gonna find
Burris is the OG king.
He's got that big ass Burris.
Bro, look, I said straight up, the Burris pepper mount was like the first like intro into the one piece LPVO battle ready. Like
I'm talking scopes.
yeah. I know. I'm just saying, like, if Burris knew 20 years ago to make the PEPR, the pepper mount, like they were so far ahead of the rest of the world at that point. To answer Crichton Kitchen's question, I don't know what you'd call like collectible. I do have like a $500 Heretic OTF right here. This is just kind of my, my going around town knife. I do have like a little $500 Microtech Stitch SE. This is just like my opening up the mail knife, I do have my Triple M Tech solid steel steak. We'll call it a steak knife.
That is true, dude. Knowledge. That is true.
That's
The
just a
XTR
vampire
Pro.
joint.
XTR Pro Tremor 5. Burris.
Only a few Crichton Kitchen.
The Burris XTR
What are we talking about?
Tremor 5. I'm talking scopes. That thing, I looked through and I was just like, what is this? I feel like I could see into next Tuesday. Like it, I don't know, glass hits different, but nonetheless, thank you for having me on. I told you I wasn't going to while out. I felt like you were worried about me and these hot takes being crazy.
No, I didn't know you wanted to come on. I mean, I saw you pop it off in the comments, but I didn't know, it's hard to keep up on.
I get it. I'm just saying, P320, like if we're going to talk about SIG, let's have an honest conversation and not leave anything off the table.
I mean, here's my question. You're an intelligent person, and if something was going on in the government, right?
Yep.
And every time something got to a certain point where like discovery was about to occur, and the government was like, shut up here, we're gonna pay you money so you go away, and then poof, it's gone, you would start being like, I mean, it's happened multiple times. That proto brand dude showed at least 4 where they settled before discovery occurred with the 320.
It's cheaper. It's bro. In most cases, it's cheaper to pay somebody else.
It could be, yeah, for sure. It could be
business we're talking about, right? This is business versus.
It just got me curious, but honestly, I'll be real.
That's like the Biden administration coming out at Trump.
Yeah, I mean,
it's no different. It's no different.
Here's the way I look at it, though. It wasn't even really the P320 like discharges that had occurred or not occurred. People always try to do ridiculous stuff for money. Would somebody shoot themselves for millions of dollars? Absolutely, no question, no question.
I said 11 million. I said I'll be right back.
I think it was like 3 or 4. I'll have to go back to the video and the paper.
I'll be right back.
You can go shove some shit in your holster real quick.
Yeah. Bang!
11 million.
Like this. I'm trying and it won't work. Why won't it work?
I'm about to holster my gun with a wooden dowel in that thing. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, do people do crazy stuff? Yes. Do people do crazy stuff for money? Absolutely, no question.
I'm not saying it's for money. My biggest thing is, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it as a whole.
Yeah,
that's mine. And I feel like
from what I've seen in the lawsuits and the operations of SIG as a business,
every big firearm company has lawsuits.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but
has lawsuits.
Some of the videos also have been sus. The one guy at the range with his Legion, the one with the guy with the Legion who was a competitive shooter whose his went off. There's I've just seen countless videos that I'm like, it's enough for me. Like, I don't need to dig into the shit because it's a fucking pistol.
No digging.
There's 100 pistols on the market that I'm like, I don't even care really about the 320. My thing is like, if you want to carry a 320 at this point, be my guest. Me personally, I wouldn't carry it.
All
This
right.
is me.
I think you're missing the whole point.
Unless my life depended on it, it's the only gun I had. I'd
Yeah,
use it.
yeah, no, I think everybody, like, I think you guys are really missing the whole point of what I'm saying, right? I feel like you guys think I'm really defending SIG when I'm not. What I'm saying is, if we're going to talk about it, let's have an educated conversation. You're
For sure.
writing it off because of things you've seen on the internet. I have seen plenty of Rugers fail. I have seen plenty of other firearms and other gear take a absolute shit that people on this chat and my chat and in the firearms industry that may not quite exactly do what I do or may not live the lifestyle I live, if that makes any sense, and defend it to the end because of pure ignorance, right? And a lot of people, especially on YouTube and this social media, you see your favorite or a person that you're fond of speaking on it and you ride out with them. But then I go, how many people that you know have them things fail? Right. And out of, like I said, I'm sorry to bring it back. He said I'm a singing tree, but sports brand, you don't know anybody that has a SIG fail on them. The only person is DLD, and he doesn't know them.
Well, and
this
that
is what
wasn't
I'm
even
saying,
me.
bro.
I think
No
that's besides the
one-
point, though. I think
Of
knowing
course,
someone
you're
makes.
gonna
I just think it makes
you're
no
gonna write it
difference.
off. You're gonna write it off. That's besides the point. But I've seen Holliston's fail.
So
Sure.
I have
Yeah, of course,
3,
but
4,
you're gonna
5
ride
hol-
out with it.
but
You're
I
gonna
have
ride out
5
with it.
Hollow Suns.
Hold on. You're gonna ride out with it,
Yeah.
right? Because
Well,
it
that's
doesn't
'cause
matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's not going to shoot me
You-
either.
It or it. You're right. It's not gonna shoot you. It might get you shot. It might get you shot. It's not gonna shoot you. It might get you shot. But that doesn't matter.
Anything
That's
might
what
get me
gets you
shot.
killed.
Anything might get me. My
It'll
YouTube
get
might
you
get me
killed.
shot. I don't know.
Well,
Yo,
so okay.
speaking of YouTube getting you shot, have you guys tried the StreamYard shorts thing?
No, I haven't messed with it. I was wondering when they were going to have that
good.
feature.
I'm gonna send you a video of a conversation we had and how they title it and what they put.
I figured it was trash.
It was
But real quick, I will say that that video that I sent you, and I can send it to you again. I mean, it goes through like every case, the details, the people, the video that's connected to it that they submitted to the court, the like everything. I mean, it is like Receiptsville. Does it mean that all of it is 100% gospel? Of course not, right? Because the one thing involved in this is people, and I'm not riding out for 320s being trash. I'm not riding out for them being good. I just, for me personally, aside from all of this stuff, I just don't like how the 320s handle and shoot. That's just a personal thing, you know.
It's a fair thing. I get it, but it's just being around firearms and understanding trends and being around people and just collecting data on it. People literally suck people off.
Of course.
And I hate that. And I absolutely hate the people literally eat corn the long way. And I'm just going to keep saying that.
And I totally get that they'll watch.
No individuality. You go to the range, you got your buddies, and they've been doing this longer than me, so I'm just going to follow everything they say. I read the internet, so I'm going to follow everything they say, never take the time out to collect data. That's where I'm at. And there's so many people like that.
I feel you.
And it's gross.
And they're
gross.
On both sides of the fence. There are people that are seeing their favorite person like, oh, these are all great. The 100%, everyone that's ever come after SIG is a money hungry, whatever. And then the other people that are like, oh, they're trash. They're going to shoot your balls off. And then they're like, well, the person that I like says this. So then they just run with that. And I totally get that. And a lot of people would say this, that
I
that
usually try to go with
Glock.
data myself. Like if enough people say something, I believe there's
real data.
I don't think that a lot of people.
Is that real data?
I mean, on video, like I've seen probably
data?
10 videos of it going off where I've like inspected the video to see like what happened.
Is it real data?
To me, it's
Is
real
it real?
data. Me analyzing
that real
stuff that
data?
comes. Yeah.
But
yeah,
all right.
I do.
That's
is
all
what-
I need to know.
Is
Yeah.
what data?
Is it real? So there's videos out, right? which I'm gonna watch that video that you sent.
Yeah, it's
100%.
long. It's long. It's like an hour and a half or something
They
like
have
that.
looked
Yeah, no,
at
that's
the
fine.
parts
That's fine.
under X-ray and find that they're MIM parts that are failing. So I mean, that's real data on that.
Yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
listen, and you know what? And you know what's crazy? And it's sad to say this. I said this in the chat, and it breaks my heart to say this. We lost a homie, and this is real talk. And this is not for Red Dawn. This is for me and you. We lost a homie to a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
How come? Like, where's the hate on that? You know?
I mean, I've
And this is dear near personal for me and you. We lost a homie to some bullshit.
so we can't
And-
confirm 100% that it was the 2011. If I don't want to have the conversation with his sister to be like, hey,
Fair enough. No, I get it.
right?
I get it.
But I, based on what we've learned, I could almost guarantee with the closest thing to certainty, and Red Dawn met him too, right? Red Dawn
Only two
knew him as
options.
well.
There was only two options in that.
Yeah.
There's only two options in that. And not one person's talking about any of them.
What do you mean? About which firearm it was?
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that another time.
Straight up, the gun was dropped, the barrel pointed up, and it hit the ground and discharged.
we know that. I'm just saying, like, it's just
I'm saying for the people,
just drop safe situations and guns and firearms that go off. It's and like I said, I'm not defending SIG. It's just real life
Fuck with that shit.
data. And at this point, I know that hurts more. That hurts more than any SIG P320 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that it just hurts way more than that. But and it's like, yo, you think about it, and this is like what all the data collected is like how many cops shot themselves with SIG P320s, bro. I don't know. It's just retarded to me. I just see it a whole different light. I'm not defending. Like I said, I'm parking my 320 very soon, and I'm going back to the basics. The 320 was great for me. 3.5, 4 years of like just running rounds through it. I'm good on it.
yeah.
Just, you know, I take hammers to all my guns. I carry guns. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just saying. I would like for people to get off the internet bullshit, and I feel like
there's just
seen a lot of
been
it.
issues with SIGs overall. Like it's not like it's a company like Glock and all of a sudden the Gen 5.
Bro, there's been issues with every gun company. Let's talk about Glocks before the Gen 3.
That was like 25 years ago, though.
What are we talking about here?
Like
Let's talk
30.
about Rugers when they were actually good. Rugers are trash now.
Yeah,
and we
but
talk about that. Like things shift. Things shift.
I mean, we're just talking about the current stuff, but yeah, they do shift. Things happen.
But we can't just talk about the current stuff. Let's talk about the history of it.
I mean, part of it is the evolution. Like Glock, for an example, their guns literally started blowing up, and it's almost without explanation because during the second generation of Glocks, they created the 22 and then the 23, which is the 40 cal, which is not higher PSI, it's just higher mass, right? Like a higher mass of the projectile. Yeah, and they started exploding. They call them the kaboom Glocks. If anyone out there searched in their favorite search engine kaboom Glocks, you'll find that in the like 30 or so years ago, they had second generation 40 caliber Glocks that started blowing up because what they did is they took the 9mm platform of the 17 and the 19, and then they shoved a 40 caliber round and barrel and all that in it. And that's why when you look at like Gen 5s nowadays, it looks and feels completely different. The thickness of the slide is different. It's a completely different gun compared to the 9mm.
So considering a new gun coming out in past 2020, in the 2020s, that you're hearing reports on, like I just look at it as there's just no need to mess with it. There's just no need. I think that the people who literally have come in the chat and been like, bro, I'm not messing with anything that hasn't been on the market for like 10 years. I'm like, cool. That's cool. You know what's proven. If it's a brand new design, yeah, they're not the only company that's popped out a brand new design and had issues. They're not. But I tell you, brand new designs tend to have more issues than older proven designs. That's what I've seen.
I mean, I think there's even more to open up with that because I agree. For me, it's like, well, if I like loved the gun and I was like, I'm committed to using and carrying a 320, I would be way more invested into figuring out the legitimacy of a lot of these claims, right? But for me, like you said, it's
Sure.
just kind of like, it's not worth the risk, right? So I'm just not. Plus, I'm you know, a Glock guy for the most part, but like there you could say that the
I'm talking
320
about
or the
like a
Stella
proven.
320, well, they had the 250s out. They that may actually be out for more than 10 years, but I'd say there's problems. There appears to be reports
But
of
that's what I'm
problems
saying. You got
with
10
both.
years to see all that. But like if you had
Yeah.
something that's out for 5-10 years and you haven't had not one report of an issue with it, and millions of people have it, you're like, okay, this is pretty trustworthy. That's enough data for me to realize, you know, a Glock Gen 5 is a very safe gun. And then you look into the design, right, of internal safeties and how it's designed, and you make your own personal assessment on whether or not that's something that you want to trust
It took
with
me
loaded
like
rounds in it.
So it's all
years.
subjective then.
Yeah, I mean everything's subjective.
Or is
I
it?
Even
mean,
data
Or
can be
is it?
skewed.
Because facts are
even
facts.
even facts can be skewed.
No.
I
That's
mean,
where you're wrong.
I can't say it's subjective. Like personal preference and things like that. Like that's subjective, but information is information. Could information be
Mhm.
skewed to favor one direction or the other? Sure, you know,
Yes.
all especially when money and liability is at stake. But even me, an avid Glock lover, it took me years to adopt the Gen 5. I was like I don't trust it. They took the cruciform, the most you know, structurally integral piece of the you know, firing mechanism, and they broke it in two pieces. It's senseless, it's stupid, it doesn't make sense. That it made it less reliable, and well, obviously that wasn't true. Ended up getting the 19X, then later
That's
on ended up getting
interesting.
other
What
stuff.
Discord is that? Sorry.
What?
You guys have a Discord? I want to join in.
There is a DLD Discord. I don't think I've been in there in
I have
like
a Discord too.
a year, but
My Discord has like 20 people in it. Like,
yeah, go ahead. Anyone out there that is still like a mod of the Discord, I think you have to be a mod to share it. Or Joe Morris, if you can share the Discord, or Luminous or
Find you.
Sport Brand, somebody.
I could just find you.
I don't think you can just find it. I think you have to be invited to it.
Oh, damn. You guys got a secret society.
Yeah, I mean it's basically secret, and then you can't see anything until you've been approved by a mod too.
No worries.
Because people were coming in and they're like, you guys are a bunch of bad people. You're talking about guns and explosives and stuff like that. I mean, not really. I can't be held responsible for what happens in my Discord. I'm just going to say that.
No, of
But
course. That's why
yeah,
I'm afraid to go on it. I don't even. I'm backing out. Big dog.
no,
I'm like,
you'll be good. You'll be good.
you're my dog, but I just.
I can't even go on Dark's Discord. There's just too much going on. I
There's
was on it for a little while. I think I might still even be in it. Let me see. I am still in it. There's just so much going on. I haven't clicked on anything in his Discord in like
there's
over a
a
year.
lot. I should honestly, I should engage more, but I just honestly, I mean, you know, like Red Dawn, I talk to you, Dust, I talk to you. You know, the amount of time that I have, like free time, is just even to jump on and do the streams is you know, difficult. Obviously, you can tell because I've been.
Why do you
Like,
think I went down to one day a week? Shit, I might stop lives as a whole, and I think in the next month there's a shift happen. I'll let you know.
I think about
DLD,
it.
we talked about it, and it's happening. So,
you think so?
No. We talked about this in the past of what I wanted to do, and it's happening.
Oh
so
yeah.
my time is about to leveling up. Let's pretty much what's happening.
That's what's up. Heck yeah, brother. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. I know Dusty said you were going to bounce, so if you
I'm
want
out of here. Love you guys. Listen, guys, don't eat corn the long way. It's not good for you. And don't eat corn on a drill. It's not good.
That'll tear your white
Corn's
hair
really not good for you anyway.
I mean, it comes out the same way it goes in, so it's kind
Yeah,
of
it really doesn't have
stay away from the
any
corn.
effect,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
don't eat
internet's
corn.
filled with it.
Yeah, I mean, make
It's got a lot of
sure-
glycophosphates. And...
Don't shoot yourself with a P320, but I do challenge everybody in the chat to go to your range where they rent guns and be like, hey, how many accidents you had with a 320? Just want to know.
You know what? I'm gonna do that.
I literally just I have this urge because I feel like you DLD know 1,000 people. Red Dome,
I believe
know
that.
1,000 people.
Yep.
I know 1,000 people, and it's just hard for me to grasp that. It's like, yo,
how many P320s though do you think are in circulation that have been produced and been sold?
A lot.
You can definitely
So
find that out, but we do have to keep in mind that a lot of them were sent to India, a lot of them were sent to like other countries too. So you got to kind of, you know.
So they're blowing up.
I mean, I know for a fact, 100% fact that it had drop issues.
All the Indian ones are blowing up, bro. Yeah. No, I'm saying we got to keep that in mind. If you look at like how many were manufactured, I would look at how many are like, on the books domestically.
And it's not me defending. I just really have this urge to know because the shit that I've seen is so crazy.
Well, I don't think any of us have like direct feelings attached to this, right? So like if it came out that everyone
I only like my X5.
And I totally get that. And honestly, I would feel some type of way. Yeah, what's up, Scoop, by the way? Sandwich Chef brothers out there. Steve Whoop, good to see you. If people started saying, Glocks are blowing off legs all over the place, I would feel a little bit of some type of way. I'd be like, well, bro, I got 40 Glocks.
Like industry beef.
It might be, but Sig also
look at Q
sucks at a lot of stuff.
You might be right, but look at Q. How many people are hating on Q right now?
Lots of people hating on Q. Kevin's kind of a dick, but
exactly. So he's a dick, right? He's a dick. So it's like, F
but
that
guy shouldn't reflect on the products. And but here's what I'm saying. So let's do this. It's Tuesday. Technically, I guess it's Wednesday, 1:46 a.m. Let's do this because we meet here every Thursday, 10 p.m. or after 10:30.
I will be here Thursday. You make sure you hit me up tomorrow. We will talk. I will be on my phone and laptop talking to you, and we will do extensive research. Thank you.
Yeah,
love you
and
guys.
I'm going to go to my local ranges and ask them too. And anyone else in chat, go to your local ranges and ask if they know of, which they probably won't want to say for liability. Ask if they know of people that have had accidents or incidents with 320s that were not explained by ADs. Dude, a lot of people cap themselves at my local ranges, bro.
Yo, that happened in Frederick. That happened in Frederick. That shit's crazy. So if your range does not have any 320s in the rental case, red flag. Just keep that in mind. Red flag. Something has happened. The owner doesn't care. No one cares for them. They don't rock with them. But if they have them there, just be like, hey, how's the 320? And get into conversation about it.
And then we could come back and report on our findings on Thursday.
Like, yo, I legit want to, I really want to talk about this. Like, I don't want to leave anything off the table. Like,
I think you should watch that whole video, and that I think would be some of your best research on.
All right, so I'm gonna watch that video. But Red Dawn, what you also have to understand is that I spend a lot of time at a range.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at gun stores, ranges, talking to guys that shoot.
You are not at a gun range more than me. I can assure you that.
But that's all I do is talk to guys that I talk to. A gun trainer every day who's one of my best friends. He's at the range every day. He runs a 320.
He runs a 320. A rental case 320 sees more rounds than me, you, DLD, everybody in the chat. No issues.
But I don't think anyone's claiming that all 320s have this issue. And like the claim is just
issues that happen.
There's some that have come out.
ADs
and
NDs
track record.
Great guns.
The track record of the drop issues, the changing of the platform, the MIM parts. The fact that
Anderson
maybe
doesn't have the
some-
best track record.
Okay, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
No,
I
but
think
we
you
are
keep
though.
we're on the 320 itself. Like, it's not about Anderson or anyone else. It's not about Rugers from 20 years ago.
Talk about it's about what the internet's talking about.
I mean, if somehow all of those other ones make the 320 better, then we could talk about it. But I don't think
it's
they
not
have
about
any
making the 320
relation
better. It's
to
about
the
not
topic of the
meat
320
riding the
itself.
internet. It's
I don't
literally
think
meat
it's
riding the internet.
okay. Well,
I don't think so. I think
riding the internet.
that's
so.
fine.
It literally is meat riding the interwebs.
I think
Okay.
in a lot of cases, what you're saying
That's how
is
you
true.
feel about it.
That's
Look,
what it is.
In a lot of cases, yes.
And
Watch-
lawsuits and other
watch
things. Yeah, I mean, I
watch the
guess
videos,
if all
all the
news
receipts.
itself,
Yo, you
and
send me
the
that video.
receipts and the
I'm
data,
gonna watch it right
and-
now. I'm
yeah,
literally not gonna go to bed.
if everything, I mean, that's where you get your information from. So, like, if that's the
I
case,
get my
then
information from being outside.
Okay, but
get
there's
my
other
information from
things
being
that you
outside.
get your information from in life besides, like, if you had a news report that came out,
That's
and
like
said,
speaking on
"This
the
has
hood
been-"
and watching videos, and you've never
But
been in the hood.
hold on, but this is different though. This is a
Yeah.
place where a video where a dude, with the help of multiple people, got every lawsuit, every picture, every recording, every receipt, and he brought it all into one place. And you can tell he
The last
is impartial
picture
to
you
state.
sent me was the holster. I need you to send me that video because I'm literally.
Yeah, I'll resend it. Now there's like 3 posted. So there's like
All
part
right.
1, 2, and 3. But
Yeah, I'll
send
watch them
you-
all tonight.
Yeah, just know that it seems like he is not partial to SIG. I would even guess that he may have been a former employee based on him covering his face. So
Yeah.
yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'll send it over to you.
SIG and their employees, that's a whole nother conversation. SIG employees been known to try and tank that place.
That's kind of why,
That's
like,
a
all
whole
the
nother
stuff
situation.
which he gets into a lot on that
Yo,
stuff
send
too.
that. Send that.
Yeah, he gets into all that and all of that. You're gonna love it.
I am. I need
And
to.
if you come back Thursday, you may be like, yo, I'll watch that video. You know, and have a different
Yo, bro, and
outlook on it.
if I have a change of heart, bro, I'm honest about it. I hate Hollison. The SCS is good.
Yeah, I feel you.
How could the
2
SCS
weeks ago,
be good
everybody
and no
was on
other
Acro.
Hollison be good?
2 weeks ago, everybody was on Acro's nuts and these closed emitters, and now everybody's starting to find out that these closed emitters are not good.
I mean, they're
I
probably
mean-
Can we
still
talk
good.
about that?
They're probably
I
not
mean,
as
it
good
depends.
as like an RMR, but I think the Acro is still good.
Enjoy your night, my brothers.
I'm gonna go get as
Love
much
you guys.
copium as I can.
You're gonna no copium on this side. No copium on this side. I just like the real.
I'm gonna run my Hollow Suns, my RMR, my
I'm gonna run my
Gideon,
Hollison
P2,
all
on my.
I'm running
I'm
all
a-
that
yo.
shit.
Is Acro copium?
Is it?
No. I was
No.
just saying that I was joking about like coping with everything and
It's
enjoying
not
the gear
coping.
that I
It's
have.
just finding out the real. You know, I never fucked with Acro like that.
Yeah, I mean,
If I said something bad about Acro, really talking about it, the same thing that's happening now happened. And then now, since people came out with videos with Acro, everybody has a change of heart. This
well,
is
it's the
what I'm
same thing
saying.
about the
Well, the
2011s
Acro
and
P1
1911s.
had issues too. The Acro P1 had issues. That's why they brought the Acro P2, and they're working.
And the S1 and S2 and
that's why
and
they've
all
been
that.
working on trying to make that thing perfect. And
But
there
also
are some people
everyone
that say they have no issues and they run the piss out of it, and then there's been other people that say I have multiple, and one of them fucks
Right.
up.
it could
All
be a
right, later,
little
guys.
fart bubble from
It's kind of just like
1913.
seeing the data and accepting the fact that some things aren't perfect, and then but you
Or
know
being
sometimes
around
you
the
ride
data.
with it and sometimes you don't.
But remember too, we're talking about how we know 2011s and 1911s aren't drop safe, and everyone references the Grantham video.
And Gen 1
That was the thing
P320s
prior to.
before the upgrade.
I know,
was the
I'm
thing
just saying,
prior
and the
to, man.
320s didn't go off either, you know. So I'm just saying
Those
it's
were
not
the upgraded ones.
Or the
It's not-
freeze test.
it's not bad to to get information from videos. You just have to, everyone has to be hyper vigilant and selective on what they accept as reality
I want everybody
before
to go hit their guns with hammers.
do it. That's I literally did that with my 320s.
It
Mine did
shouldn't
not
Did
go
any
be
of
off.
them go
anymore.
off?
They had an
No.
involuntary recall for the P320 itself, where they would upgrade it for you so it didn't go off anymore.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do, guys,
That
and
was
I'm
from
doing this for
Sid.
your chat.
That
Yo,
was a 250
DLD,
to 320 joint.
I'm
And
gonna
it
in
was
a couple of
320.
weeks. I'm gonna get another pistol, right, as my sidearm. I'm gonna retire the 320. Me
Mhm.
and you are gonna make a video, and we're gonna smack my X5 Legion with it.
Yo, I got a 16-ounce nylon hammer that won't leave a scratch, bro. Let's do it.
I got a 16-ounce metal hammer that might leave a scratch, but it doesn't
will
matter, bro.
indeed.
Like, I'm with it.
And
Let's
if
see
you
what happens.
want, I got the DLD museum with like 100 guns here. If you want to come get your hands on some, I mean, mostly Glocks, but if you want to come and get your
No.
hands on some stuff, you know, check out stuff, see what you want, you know, yeah, you know, you're welcome to come through.
Let's beat the shit out of my X5. It's ran its course. It's done everything I needed to do. Further shot, iron sights, 250 yards. Happy with it. I'm good. If
So
I
we'll
can survive
pull,
without getting shot for the next couple of weeks, we're good.
the
And-
projectiles, dump the powder, and just use the primer, and bang, 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 and we'll just, you know,
I'll let you do
Can I
that.
can I
that
share
seems
this real
more up your
quick?
lane.
what's that?
This one, I mean, it's not an involuntary; it's a voluntary recall. That
Yeah,
Sid
that was
put
in the
out.
beginning of the 320s. That was the triggers and the.
It
I
was
guess you
the
said there was some on the
triggers and the slide. Yeah. While there has
The
been
images.
a formal, I mean, I could take you through the whole thing right here. Voluntary recall
Yeah,
program.
this is what we talked
Sig
about
Sauer.
earlier.
Like this was on this is them. This is on their own website.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what's
so-
crazy? Ruger Precision, the bolt guns, had a recall on them too. When you go to lock it, they would
Went from
fire.
this trigger to the
Mm.
to the thinner trigger. This
Dog.
this part of the slide has been now cut out. This is how you would tell if you have a non-upgraded 320. You have this trigger
The
instead of this
triggers the
trigger.
dead giveaway.
You don't have a cutout here on the. Yeah, the trigger's the dead giveaway, but the slide as well, because someone could have just replaced the trigger and you could still have that old slide. So you may want to check, because this is SIG's
But that was like
voluntary
10
recall they did on the P320.
That was like
Recalls
10
are
years
nice.
ago.
Yeah.
When those are M17, M18s, them things are junk.
Yeah.
These
But
aren't
I think that
M17s.
I think
That's
that
not an
was
M17.
the that
What-
was
what is
old.
the M18?
No, it was
It's
before
literally
that.
on
This
their
was
website.
when-
P320 voluntary upgrade program. It was called the voluntary recall.
Yeah, but Ruger had the
Voluntary
same
upgrade.
fucking thing.
the
I feel
issue
you. I
with,
wouldn't
with
fucking
this
rock
Bro,
with
was
every
Ruger either
company
like
has
that.
been through this. And everybody, this
Okay.
is what kills me. Every company's been through this, and everybody seems to ignore it because everybody meat rides the internet, dog.
well, I think it's because
Because
people
one
don't carry
person-
bolt
One
actions.
person with a platform or a say says something, and everybody's like, corn the long way. Let's
Joe
do
Bob,
it.
they use the regular
Goblin.
320 FCUs in that one. That's not a P250 FCU. It's the regular 320 FCU. It had nothing to do with the FCU. It had to do with the trigger and the slide at the time.
You know what Jova does?
No.
He's a moderator on my
Yeah,
live stream.
just asking.
But those 100% use 320 FCUs.
All right, that you're a all right.
No, so that's okay. So those were the new 320s, but they literally released the 320s using 250 FCUs, and that's why they replaced the trigger, because the trigger of the 250 was heavier than the components of the slide striker and all that. So if it were dropped, the trigger was heavy enough that the inertia would make it pull, rendering the entire safety whatever system of the platform useless, and it would go off. But that wasn't the only thing. I'm just saying that was in the beginning when they.
But also the fact that it's just the inertia of the trigger moving on its own.
Yeah, I'm not
not a
saying it's a
great-
good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not,
it's
I'm
not a
not,
fucking
I'm
good
not
thing to
fighting for it.
see. Yeah, I mean, I think you're smart for the guys in the chat who run the one with the trigger safety on it. I think it's agency. I think that's smart. But I mean, if you have an upgraded slide and the design is not great,
I think
that's all I would
people
say.
are going to do their thing either way. And
Yeah,
320
I mean,
owners, I'm a
I'm not the
320 owner,
gospel.
and I wasn't. I
I'm not telling
swear the
people to
hot
get
takes
them or
thing.
not get them.
Yeah,
I
that's on them.
there is a bunch of shit that is left off the table that no one even wants to see because a couple of court cases no one was there for. No one is understand. Yo, Red Dawn, me and you could be in a room. Something could happen. I could come out that room and saying, I want to sue you.
Yeah, you can.
And
Anyone
because
could
I have a
file
bigger
anything.
platform than you and I know more people than you, people will naturally take my side. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I don't think anybody of like.
And you could have done absolutely nothing to me. But what
Yeah,
I
you
could
could
do,
file
you
a can of
understand what I'm
soup.
saying?
Yeah, you can file anything. You file any
Yeah, you
lawsuit
can
for
file
anything.
anything, but like, yeah, I need to see this video. I'm gonna shut up because I
I'm
really
telling
do.
you, it may shift your perspective a
Yeah,
bit.
that's why I need to see it.
I'm not
So
saying it's definitely going to. I'm just saying it may. But it's the same thing. Then like, and I'm just saying for everyone out there, make your own decisions because I think most of the people here are hip to the fact that like a lot of people that are ill-informed, uninformed, uneducated, whatever, they'll watch someone that they know, like, trust, believe, or whatever on the internet, and then they'll say something. 320s are fine, go get them. 320s are trash
I'm
and
not saying
dangerous,
that.
don't get them.
I mean, I
And
don't
then
think I've heard
they'll,
anybody that I like or have a relationship with or follow that have been like, don't buy 320s.
yeah,
Like,
I don't even
this
know the
data
first
has
place I heard
come.
it.
This data has come from all over the place over
Yeah,
the lifespan of that platform. It's like the
yeah.
lifespan of it has been upgrade this, SIG voluntary recall this. To the
Yeah,
point where
that's
for
what the
me
company's
personally,
doing.
I'm good. I'm good with just running a Glock. I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
you know what's crazy? Glock went through that.
Yeah, but they're not going through that now. So for now, at this time period, I don't think if they were going through that and I was seeing them blow up, I wouldn't be running
I don't
Glock
know.
neither.
I haven't seen issues where Glocks were being reported to go off on their own. They were blowing up until they added the third pin in the frame. But I it'd be news to me. I'd like to learn more about that if they were going
I
off.
wouldn't run a fucking Glock neither if they were reporting that shit.
Yeah, if it was the same thing, I'd probably err on the side of caution.
I don't give a shit what company is. I like SIG as a company. I like the MCX. I like the Rattler. I have 3 P365s. I had 2 320s. I had 5 SIG pistols in my house, and I'm not like a collector.
Throw them all out.
I'm not getting rid of my 365s. I'm not.
Throw them all out.
I actually might trade one in for another Echelon.
What about the shake awake
I don't
trigger?
know.
Echelon saved Springfield.
I'm with you on that.
They did
Yeah.
because the Prodigy was an absolute fail.
Yeah, the Hellcat's not great. The Prodigy's not great. Maybe
I'm not
the
even
PCC
talking about
will
the
be good that they're
Hellcat was
coming out with.
expected. The Hellcat was expected to be trash. That was a buffering. That was a loading screen pistol to get out.
Yeah, that was trash.
That was not meant to be.
The XD
anything
series was good though.
The XD series was good.
Yeah. 15 years ago.
Yeah,
that was dope.
Yeah, it's fucking,
Yeah,
it was good.
I mean, they're still good. Like if I found one
I
on
know
the
people
ground
that still.
in the middle of a shootout, I'd pick it up.
They're 10 millimeter XD. I would take the 10 millimeter XD. I'd take the 10 millimeter XD right now over the 320 XD, just because I ain't messing with that platform. That's just me. People could do what they want to do.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, that's what I was referring to with the Kaboom Glocks, Jova. The 40 cals were blowing up, so that's where Generation 3 was birthed, because they took the 17 and the 19 and they said, let's just make them 40s. Poof. And they weren't all blowing up, right? They weren't all, but there were more than enough complaints. Like at least dozens and dozens of complaints where the frames were blowing up right at the locking lug area, and it was enough to where they had to reevaluate. Then they came out with a Gen 3, and the only solution at that point was a third steel pin at the
Just a
LBRS.
more than 2.5 million P320s have been sold.
Globally or domestically?
I think that was in America.
Hmm.
2.5 million.
So I mean, even if only 10 shot people involuntarily, right? And it just went. That's still hard to find 10 out of 250 million.
How many
gun
other
owners,
companies that 10 of their firearms have shot people?
like by mistake, where it's just
By
the
mistake.
gun?
You wouldn't know
I don't
because
know.
you wouldn't even pay attention to it because your favorite content
You wouldn't
creator is
know.
not talking about it.
I
I'm
don't-
out of here.
Dude,
I
I don't
think it
even
only
watch
comes from
content
creators. Yeah, it
I'm outta
definitely
here.
doesn't come from content creators.
I'm
All
out.
right, brother. All right.
Later, guys.
Peace, brother. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I know there's no way to end the conversation in a way like it's like there's no skin in the game for me either way, right? So like if everything about the SIG 320s is fake and made up and not real, you know, great. Like that's cool. It still wouldn't
Yeah.
change anything. I'm still not gonna, carry one just because I don't have a preference for that gun. It like I said, if I felt like the SIG 320 was just like so remarkable that I absolutely had to find a way to shove one in my pants, then I'd be taking this information way more seriously to find out what was going on with these issues. But it just doesn't for me personally. The only reason I know about the Kaboom Glocks, the 40 cal Glocks, is because in the early 2000s, like it was you could end up with a Kaboom Glock, buying them secondhand. So that's why you had to know what were the serial number ranges, what were, even crazy thing, you could get a second generation that was outside of the uh that was within the serial number frame, but have a Gen 3 slide, and it could still be a Kaboom Glock that was right in the middle of the transition of Gen 2 to 3. And, it was a whole bunch of stuff. So, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap up. I don't have
Scott,
anything.
I remember the Firestone tire scare. You remember that?
I don't think so. Oh, I think, yeah, I think somebody was trying to tell me about that. I was like, yeah, I don't have Firestone. But I will say this, and I think this is important for all of us to say, no one here on this channel, affiliated with this channel, in the chat, or anyone, previous guests, current guests, or future guests, or the owner of this channel, has any ill intent to go against SIG, impact its revenue, impact its reputation, or its pedigree, or anything at all. We got zero skin in the game. I speak for no one but my own personal opinion and looking at the information that I find. And anything else, people make their own mind up and decision. And yeah, like Dust was saying, don't just watch a content creator and be like, "Ooh, I like what he says." So, that's all I'm saying.
sure.
Anything else you want to end on?
Nope. Stay prepared, keep training. Christ is king. Do your own research. Don't believe everything you see, but use logical reasoning and study the rules of logic and also the rules of fallacious reasoning. They will help you make good decisions.
Excellent. That was beautiful. I'll also say this. What did somebody say? Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, or something like that. Yeah, that's that still rings relatively true. Guys, look, the most important thing, although a lot of times we just talk about guns, gear, preparedness, SHTF, like if the shenanigans hit the fanigans, all that stuff is really important. What equipment you choose is important. But the most important things that any of us could be talking about is at the very end when we talk about the expectations of a man. It is imperative during this era in time where we are in an active culture war that you become a culture warrior. Okay, it's important that you are a better version of yourself every single day, that you hold yourself to higher standards and expectations, that you're a better leader within your family, a spiritual leader within your family, a better leader within your community, a leader within your church, all whatever, things you do, make sure you're improving and getting better, making progress every day, like Verizon. I think that was what they used to say. Anyway, but while you do that, hold yourself to higher standards and expectations. Align yourself with other men that want to be held to higher standards and expectations. And some of the rules that I like to close with at the end of every stream are rule number 1 is to be kind. Hold on, before I get into that, my apologies. Get right with God, get right with your family. You never know when the end is going to be, boom, right in front of you. You could be walking out of your house, and the last words you could speak to your family is, I'll be right back. And boom, you're gone. So it is very important that you get right with Jesus and that you have a close relationship with Jesus and get right with God, because you never know when anything could happen. Okay. Now, the rules that I like to share with you guys are rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So be kind. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because a hand that's open to give is open to receive. And rule number 3, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence, make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be. And be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. I appreciate all y'all so much. Christ is King, Christ is Lord, and Jesus just wants to get a chance to know you. He just wants to text you. There's a book, actually. He would text you often. And I'll catch you
A
on
lot
the
of
flip side.
Texas already.
Already.
Just
Catch
gotta
y'all
read
later.
'em.
Yes, sir. Peace. Accept the call.